Hi, this is Faith, and you are watching The Faith Factor. Holla.
Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? This is Faith, and you are watching The Faith Factor. And this is me going into this Independence Day, and I'm thinking about being happy that Black women have made it as far as we have made it. When I think about this Independence Day, I think about Black women being free, being sovereign, being just able to be who we want to be, and we don't have to be who we want to be for everybody. No longer do we have to be the mammies of the community, the mules of the community. And I'm so proud of Black women for standing tall and saying enough is enough. We do not have to bear all the babies. We do not have to take care of all the sick. We do not have to clean up behind everybody, loan everybody money, build every brother in the community until he gets up to where he wants to be so he can go and get himself a white girl. We don't have to do any of that anymore. Now, Black women are choosing ourselves first, and it feels damn good. So, this Independence Day, I want Black women to celebrate being free and independent of all those things. Because we come a long way, baby. A long way. Yes, Tia. Yes, we don't have to do any of those things anymore. We're no longer, if we don't want to accept the outside children, because Black women, we have notoriously been expected to love everybody's children. That's the reason why they looked at us as the mammies, even the men in our lives. And let me know if there are audio issues here too, by the way. I forgot to do my testing, 1, 2, 3 type thing. Let me go ahead and see if I can play back my audio real quick. Hold on a second, y'all. Testing, 1, 2, 3 type thing. Let me go ahead and see if I can play back my audio real quick. Hold on a second, y'all. Testing, 1, 2, 3 type thing. Let me go ahead and see if I can play back my audio real quick. Hold on a second. Okay, the audio sounds fine. Audio sounds good, guys. Thanks for bearing with me because I never know when this stuff is working, by the way. Now, it says here that I got all my audio stuff together, so I just want to make sure this time is together. All right, so we are good. We are good. Tia says, be the mules and the entire weight of the world on our shoulders. Yeah, and we don't have to do that anymore. Thank the Lord, right? He said it's pretty good. Could it be louder or is there an echo? Let me know. Because if there is, I can get it in the beginning. But if you don't tell me now, I'm not going to be able to get it. Then the show is just going to go on. So let me see what's going on with this sound. Let me check in the settings here. I don't know what's been going on with my audio as of late. So it says here, let me try this. Okay, is this a better sound? Let me go back and see if this is a better sound. Put a 1 in the chat because I just switched over to a different mic. Let me also unclick audio adjust and let me amp it up a little bit here. See if that does anything. All right, cool. All right, that's what I want to hear. Hold on. In the beginning, but if you don't tell me now, like so it says here, let me go back and see if this is a better sound. Put a 1. Let me also see if that does anything. Okay, yeah, I can hear the difference. I can hear the difference now. There's definitely a better sound right there. All right, thanks Tia. Thanks for letting me know. Like I said, my mic has been having some problems, and I have a new interface and I don't really know how to use it that well, guys. So please bear with me. Damn, I got the mic together, then I got myself kicked out. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so back to what I was talking about here. Thanks for bearing with me in my ignorance. All right, so ladies, we are free. No longer do we have to do any of these things anymore in the name of, being good black women. Now, black women more than ever, we know that being a good black woman does not mean laying down and being a doormat. We don't have to sit up here and say to our husbands that go out and cheat on us, and in order to look like we're the better woman, oh, we'll accept the outside baby. We'll help you raise which you and whatever outside baby you have. Just baby, please don't leave me. There are more and more women that are not settling for that anymore. There are more and more women that are also saying that if I'm a single woman and I don't have children, I don't want a man with children. And guess what? I think that that's absolutely freaking great, because before, men will sit up here and have all these lists of things that they want from women. They'll say, I don't want a woman with children, but they'll have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different baby mamas. Now, their kids may not live with them, but they got them baby mamas. So now women are saying, I don't want a man to have children. I don't care if your children don't live with you. And this is great. This is great. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. BMT, we not going to be back. BMT over there talking about some, we going to be back. No, BMT, we not coming back. No. Black women, we are hip to you guys. We are hip. We know the score. So now you got more black women having standards and standing up for what they want. And it's about goddamn time that we get our independence. We have our independence from the stupid things that have been holding us back. For decades upon decades, we have been taking care of babies that are not ours. Outside babies from men, from guys that have been cheating on us, because we just didn't want that other woman to have that man. And now we have women slowly waking up, and we have them now walking away from those types of situations. And I say it's about goddamn time. Where's my round of applause? God damn it. That deserves a goddamn round of applause. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And there will be more. There will be more. Thank you. Thank you, Diamonds and Pearls. She says, you're looking amazing. Thank you. Hey, Dougie Doug. He said, is it really great? See, I knew the men were going to come in here complaining. How did I not know that the men were going to come in here complaining? He says, is it really great? Because based off of social media, it looks like the men and women are unhappy. Well, here's the thing. The people that are unhappy are the people that are just unhappy with themselves. Now, me, I was single. I'm in a relationship now with a guy. And guess what? I'm still happy to be single. It would take a hell of a man to make me not want to be single again. Do you know the freedom that comes with being able to do whatever the hell you want to do and not have to worry about what somebody else think about it? That felt good. But now, it feels good to be with my guy and everything. I'm just saying, but that freedom, this is nothing. You can't beat it. I'm sorry. Do you know how much you men put on us women? Y'all put a lot on us. A lot.
You sit up here and tell us we got to birth the children. You tell us what to look like, what to wear. We gotta be a lady in the streets and a whore between the sheets. You know, you put a lot of expectation on women. A lot. Then you cheat on us, and then you tell us that you're sorry and you want us to accept it. Then you go and cheat. Not only do you cheat, but you had the outside kids. And then you try to bring the outside kids into the house with the rest of our kids. And we gotta eat that. That's what a lot of you men expect from us. And we are seeing no more of that nonsense. No more. And then some of you will get us in our prime when you guys are damn near dying and going into the goddamn nursing home. You're 60 years old and you want an 18-year-old. You want a free nurse. You want us to give up our good years. Now, mind you, yeah, okay, you might be, giving us a little money, putting us in the house or whatever. But that control piece. You can't go nowhere. You can't dress like this. You can't. Then you want the keywords to the social media accounts. You want to call, it's too much controlling. So then you control about a good 10, 15 years of our youth. By the time we're in our mid 30s and you finally die, because that's what we've been waiting on. We've been waiting for you to die so you can leave us the money and we can finally be free. Do you know the freedom dance that young women do when their old husbands die? Oh, wait, hold on a second. What's that song? Oh, yeah. Girlfriend. Hey, Google. Play Girlfriend. How could you let him treat you so bad? I forget who sang this song.
Got it. Girlfriend, single version by Pebbles. Here it is on YouTube.
Pebbles. Yeah. We be dancing. We cannot wait until our old husbands die. You old 60-year-old bastards. Wait, just a regular guy? He said Faith is celebrating freedom. No, I am not free from CK, okay? As a matter of fact, I'm going to be seeing him tomorrow. No, but we be celebrating when you old ninjas that marry these 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds, when y'all finally die. This is what we be doing. We be celebrating. Dancing on your grave. Girlfriend. You know you were the best thing ever had. Girlfriend. How could you let him treat you so bad? Hey, Google. Stop. All right, that's enough. Yeah, we be dancing. We be dancing on y'all old graves. Because see, what you do is you get us when we 18, you're 60. By the time we 25, you're geriatric ass. We got to change your diapers. Okay, you're old, you're crabby. We got to wheel you in out there to the garden, help you get in the shower, bathe you. You know, you just like an extra kid in the house. You got a free nurse. And then you got the nerve not to want nobody to go nowhere. Here I am, 22 years old. I want to go be with other 22-year-olds, but my husband is like 68. Come on, y'all. Imagine that. You 22 and your husband 68, and he talking about you can't go nowhere. Please. When your ass died, as a matter of fact, when your ass had that coronary, that what they call it, that aortic artery start to close up on your ass, and you start having them chest pains, do not expect that 22-year-old to call the ambulance. She is waiting for your ass to die. Because she tired of you telling her that she can't go out and have no fun. The music that she listening to, She listening to Cardi B and City Girls and all this other stuff. You can't stand that music. Every 10 seconds, you telling her to turn it down or put the headphones in. Then when she got the headphones in, she walking around in fantasy land trying to think about everything but your old ass. And you mad because she can't hear you because you need her to get you up so you can go to the porta potty. So now you're throwing stuff at her to get her attention. And she mad. She can't wait until your old ass die. Let me stop being evil, y'all. But you know it's true. You know I'm telling the truth. I ain't told not one lie yet. What's up, Ultimate Gemini? Perfect Balance says you want black men to die so you can go to the club and dance. No. See, me, I'm not finna. You're not finna get me in that trick bag. No. No, I am free. I can do whatever the hell I want to do. Ain't nobody gonna tell me I can't go to no club. Can't nobody tell me I can't wear my sexy clothes. Can't nobody tell me shit. I'm a grown ass woman and I'm free. And all black women are free, by the way. No more of this y'all sitting up here expecting black women to let y'all live in our house until y'all get up on y'all feet. I will talk. You want me to drop it? I'll drop the link. But I'm just saying, I ain't lied yet. Y'all want to sit up here. You want us to let y'all live with us and help a brother out, work with you, build with you. And when we do that, when we get with you when you ain't got nothing, we help build you. We to build a brother workshop of black women. I am so glad that we are free and independent of building you niggas up. Now, black women do not have to build a nigga. We said no. We tired of that shit. We got our shit. Now you got to have your shit. That's how it is. It's not going to be no more build a nigga. Nigga come already built. We want our shit already assembled. You know, when I bought my fireplace, I did not assemble my own fireplace. I don't know how to build a fireplace. I bought my shit. They had to assemble it right there at the Lowe's. And they bought that shit already assembled to my house. That's how I like my men. God damn it. I like my men already assembled. And black women everywhere are saying that we already want you motherfuckers built when we get to you. We don't want to buy the fireplace in a box. Then somebody got to assemble. I'm going to tell the other bitch to put you together. She can put you together. And then after she finished, then I'll come scoop in and get you. How about that? That's right, Diamond. We love men that know how to treat us well. Not no come help build me. No, you need to be built already, goddamn. What's up, Topaz? Topaz, I am celebrating the freedom and the independence of black women. We are past all the ignorant shit. We are past building a nigga. We do not build men anymore. Black women, majority of us, we're on code for the most part. We don't build niggas anymore. We don't take care of outside children anymore. All that little basic ass shit, y'all can take that to them basic ass bitches that don't know no better. But for now, black women have collectively woke up. And I am celebrating the independence of black women who are no longer giving birth to a whole bunch of babies. The average black woman has one, maybe two babies. We're not giving birth like that either. So I'm celebrating the independence of our minds as women. We come a long way, baby. We come a long way. I say woohoo. When you ladies, when you go out tomorrow and celebrate, when you watch those fireworks shooting across the sky, think of all the things that we have become independent of. Oh, you know what the next thing we need to become independent of? We need to become independent of all this extracurricular man sharing. I would love to see that be the next thing that we stop doing. We need to slap all the just one loud slap. It's supposed to sound like this. Slap every proud side bitch, proud side woman or side bitch or whatever she calls herself. All the proud side bitches need to get slapped upside the head. From 2022 on to 2023, we need to get rid of the man sharing mentality. That's the next thing that we need to become independent of. But so far, Black women, we are doing good. So far, we are becoming that better class of women. We just got a few little things we got to tweak. We got a few little things, but we gonna be all right. All right. So I see a couple of people here done already asked for the link. I see a few little people here done already asked for it. I'm gonna drop the link down there in the chat. Oh Lord. So I'm gonna drop the link down there. But yes, the man sharing stuff has got to go. I'm sick and tired of it. This Independence Day, got ladies, we gonna have to work on some stuff. But so far, so good. We done got the birth rate down. We are no longer accepting the outside babies. God damn it. We are not free nurses anymore. Thank God. Okay. So, we are doing good. We are batting 1,000 here. So all we got to do is just keep raising them standards, ladies. Keep raising them. We doing good. When I look into the sky and I see those fireworks, that's what I'm going to be thinking of. I'm going to be thinking of how free we have become. And there's more to come. Fireworks, that's what I'm going to. All right, so let me go ahead and pin the link. So the link is now pinned to the top. So anybody that wants to come up, you got anything that you want to say? Oh, Tia's already up here. What's up, Miss Tia?
Hey, Miss Faith, darling. You looking so beautiful, girl. I'm telling you, you're giving us life right now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gorgeous, gorgeous. That smile and oh my God, that skin. You just doing it for us. I'm telling you. I agree with a lot of everything you just said. I think Black women, I think all women, to be honest, need to be on code, and we need a more moral code because every action causes a reaction. If you're sleeping with someone's boyfriend or husband, that it devalues sex. It devalues sex. It devalues a woman's worth. When men feel like, oh, I can have my cake and I can have faith and have my cake and eat it too. I agree with you 100%. And sometimes you've been in situations you didn't know a guy was in another relationship, especially when you're young. They tell you the stories. Oh no, we divorced. Oh no, we're separated. Oh no, we just live together for the kids. And a lot of times we want to believe it. It's not that. And sometimes, unfortunately, a lot of us have low self-esteem and a low self-worth, and we think, I just want somebody. And sometimes somebody could see your happiness, and they see your happiness with that man. They want that happiness, and they will come after your happiness because they've never either had it or they wish they had it. They've never had it. And they feel like if I could just get this man, I can emulate the exact same sort of connection, love, and happiness with that, like she had. And that's not, right. A lot of times that's not the case. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I agree with you. It is our independence. Woo woo. We do need our independence because, like, we're awake now. We're awake. We're aware. We're now not feeling like, oh, are we crazy? Is it me? Because if everyone, and this is not a gender war to me, to be honest. I know Black men want to say that is a gender war, but it's not. It's just Black women comparing notes. We are all getting the same results and the same same outcomes and circumstances. And the issue is also really quickly, um, in a lot of these manosphere and dudes, they're all gold diggers and things like that. We're not gold diggers. If black women were gold diggers, Faith, most of us wouldn't be born because most black men don't have money. Our daddy,
But that's the thing. We have never, Tia. We've never really been gold diggers like that.
Right.
Now, for the most part, men have always been tricks. I'm gonna just put it out there. Men are
Yes,
the
ma'am.
ones that really introduced the whole sugar daddy, sugar baby thing
Yeah.
because they couldn't get the women that they wanted to just off of their own, strength. So they
Right.
had to use the strength of their money.
Yeah.
And so when they did that, they were the ones that created the whole gold digger mentality because we weren't
Right.
really thinking about that, to be honest.
Right.
We were really trying to find men and try to build our families. We were operating off love.
Lies.
Absolutely,
Lies.
Faith. And then also, Faith, I know from
BMT hush.
experience, my dad, he married a woman, he made babies during that marriage, he messed around with, and most women took care of him because he was in the street, he was, a gambler, he liked to drink, like party, like do, and it's not every circumstance, every guy, but there's a lot, I don't know too many black women that live at some guy's house, but I know a lot of men that play house with black women. I don't know, most of them live in her house, in her apartment, and a lot of them are using us as come-ups, in-betweens, because it's a stepping stone, because sometimes they're with us because sometimes one, housing, shelter, food, access to your body, access to your finances. It's easier to live with you and not pay a full rent than live with a woman where you'll pay 50% or more. And let's be honest, most black women are paying 50% or more, and then have to come home and do a second shift at the house, cook, try to be submissive and cook a meal and clean, get that laundry done.
Isn't that amazing how they expect us to go out, work, help them provide for the home, and then they want you to still be available for sex? They want you to still keep the house clean. They want you to also still step in when the kids need somebody, because they're not going to they're going to say, well, ask your mama. They always send the kids to you, and you don't work just as long as he did. Then after you do all of that, and you cook, and then you run errands and do everything, he laying up at the house chilling. And then so when you get through doing everything, you get in the bed, you tired and everything, here he come talking about some tapping you on the shoulder. No. No, you don't get to tap me on my shoulder after all.
Hey, you been listening to that Fantasia stuff again? You been listening to Fantasia again? I see you got your hair in a ponytail like Fantasia. You been listening to Fantasia again?
You know
back
what?
on that porch.
You know what? BMT.
You back on that program?
No, ain't nobody on that program. First of all, BMT, don't come up in here talking about no damn Fantasia. You black men have been getting away. Y'all have been getting away with black women muling and doing all the work for decades upon decades. We are free. We are independent of y'all lazy behinds.
Where did y'all go?
We went our own way. Our own way. That's where we went.
Now hold on now. Now listen, y'all. Faith just told y'all the blueprint. Now listen, y'all. She's pulling a Beyonce on y'all. She going to her man tomorrow. She gonna cook and clean and drop like it's hot tomorrow. Y'all go ahead and stay at home with y'all cats and y'all little lightsabers and shit. Watch y'all.
But that's her choice. That's her choice.
I am not cooking and cleaning nothing.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But that's her choice.
Y'all believe this. Okay. Y'all be on TikTok with y'all doing y'all dances looking crazy, but this okay.
Faith is not saying
inflation going up.
Faith is not saying not to be in a relationship. She's saying we now know how to move better moving forward, getting into relationships.
How y'all know how to move better?
Just move. We understand that as another person says, having standards as boundaries and expectations. That's why. That's what it is. You have to. You have to have them, because it's like you're going to get more of the same, and it's not a return on your investment. If
Right.
I remember when I lived in Washington D.C. at one point, I used to go to I used to work from home a little bit, and there was this woman. She'd go to work every morning. Every time her his woman leave, I'd be because my desk was by the window. This man would have a new chick, like every couple days coming in. He would hook up with her in her apartment, in her house, drive him in that girl's car. A lot of women, and I understand you can say he's a dusty. You need to choose better, but unfortunately, dudes like that is a lot of the collective. You don't get a return. It's not. It's uneven yoke. You're
Right.
doing. A lot of women are doing everything they can because we both date for different reasons. Men date because they want sexual access. Number one, that's the top number reason, and two, the other stuff, housing, split the bills, half, and all that stuff. And women thinking, oh, this is going to turn into possibly someone I could build a life with. You thinking, no, I'm just here because
Yeah,
you what I can get at the moment. And
that's
it's
not.
unfortunate. And like she said, you waste our best years of our lives. You waste our youth, the best years of our life. And then when we build a nigga, breathe and speak life into you, and we ride and
Breathe.
die for you, you guys move on to the girl of your dreams once you make it. And I know that for a
Right.
fact. I've seen
Or a white girl. Let's just say it. They go ahead as soon
their
as they get on, they
preferences,
leave us for a white girl. We done set
not
up here and built
Hold
them
up.
from the
Stop.
ground up.
Stop.
not
Stop.
just
Next
white
Stop.
thing you
women.
know,
It
they
could be
would like they
Hold
with a
on. Wait.
preference.
Hold on.
They
Wait.
with a
It don't have
preference.
to even be white. It could be they after you put all that work. I've seen chicks put 22 years a dude dangle marriage over her head. I've seen
That's.
our girlfriend of mine
Hold
just
on. Whose choice
recently
was that?
20. I'm sorry,
Whose choice was that?
that was her. She's wrong.
No,
I
no,
blame
So
no.
her.
she
It was
chose
I
your
that.
blame her
choice,
too.
but
I
see, here's the thing.
So she
Men,
was free.
BMT, you act like men do not lie. You act like men do
Oh,
not sit up here and give
stop.
promises that
Stop.
they don't
Stop.
keep. They sit up here
Stop.
and tell these women that they're going to love them and be with them, and they're so
Yeah, I
thankful
do
to
love you.
them
You
for all
told
their
me to
help.
do that.
Come on, you know good and
You
damn
chose to
well the
stay with me
pillow
for
talk
22
that be
years.
going on.
Ain't my fault you ain't asked for the ring. Ain't my fault you just took the D and just was happy. If you was happy with the deal, you happy with the deal. You can't get mad with that.
My a girlfriend of mine recently with the guy 7 years. A girlfriend of mine 7 years. He lived in her house. He worked part time once in a while. He had 2 kids from a previous relationship. She took care of him. And then she helped him. She put the work in, the research, the time, the energy to help him find a job, even though he didn't have a college degree that would make him a 6-figure salary starting. She literally did it.
Mm-hmm.
Just
How all
the
y'all
minute
always
he
have
got
these
that,
build a nigga
just
workshop
listen.
stories?
The minute he got that job, he told her he went to the shower. She looked at his phone. You know what he said? Which she saw a message from the girl in the picture of her, and she said, "What's this?" He told her, "Oh, you just don't do it for me anymore." He even started
Damn,
looking
her boss
Hollywood.
was dry.
Even after
I
he
don't
got the
blame her.
job, he started dressing a certain
Wait a
way,
minute. Wait a
looking a
minute.
certain way.
After he got the job, he said she just doesn't do it for him
He told
anymore.
her verbally, verbatim, "You just
So
don't do
she
it for me
so she
anymore."
ain't want to give him no slop, so he got to stay with her. I wouldn't stay with no woman that don't do that. What
That
kind of
won't give him no
sorcery is
slop.
this?
He's working part time, making $13 an hour, but now he got a job making 6 figures more money
Now,
than she's
BMT,
making.
come on now. If he was making $13 an hour and he was with her when he was making $13 an hour, all of a sudden, when he gets on and he's making the money like he should be making it, all of a sudden she don't do it for him no more.
Right,
Think
but
about that.
he
Think
went and got
about
the
that.
job because of her. He didn't make the initiative. He didn't know about it. She did it. She put him on the road to riches. She put him on the road to success. She did it.
And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about these are the lies and the deceptions I'm talking about. And I'm so glad that Black women are freeing themselves from this. We are becoming hip to the game, and we are no longer building you Negroes from the ground up. You guys got to hold your own nuts now. You can't lay on the couch anymore. In 2022, you're going to have to do for you. We are not doing for you anymore. So you can't lay on the couch. We not ban you no Xbox 5. That thing costs $1,000. Y'all know that Xbox 5 costs $1,000.
I didn't.
Yeah, we not ban y'all the Xbox 5. You got to get your own. So I am so glad, and I am celebrating a Black women's independence of our minds. We come so far. So like I said, these are things that we are no longer doing in droves. Now, there are one or two there's some stragglers that are still out here doing it. But for the most part, the message has gone out. We're no longer letting you all on the couch. We're not going to work with you, making no $12, $13 an hour. We are not going to buy you the PlayStation 5.
Hold on.
No,
Wait. Hold on.
You cannot.
Stop. Why y'all always telling these strugglation stories and buildanigga.com, but y'all don't ever say nothing about when we be trying to help y'all and y'all dang 4 and 5 kids and stuff, and you got to accept me as I am. See, y'all don't talk about them stories when y'all singing them Fantasia songs, them Mary J. Blige, Take Me As I Am and all that bullshit, and we trying to deal with you, deal with your mama, your whatever bastard brother out of prison, and we got to deal with all that stuff. But see, y'all don't ever want to tell y'all buffoonery. Y'all be trying to make it seem like y'all angels. Stop it. Y'all need to stop this buffoonery right now.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Y'all get a job at Dollar General, and y'all think y'all made it.
Mr. BMT, let me tell you something. Two things could be right at the same time. You're right. There's a flip side to it. There are some decent dudes that did help out some chicks with a bunch of kids, but I apologize. I've been having this bad. But the thing is, there's choices. Just like my friend who stayed for 22 years, that was her choice. She did make a mistake. You're right. Two things could be right at the same time.
No, Tia, no.
Go ahead.
Because
go.
we have accepted the bummy black man for how many decades, Tia? How many decades did we accept
accepting the bummy black man since after slavery, baby? So yeah.
So shouldn't they? It's their turn. Is
right.
Your BMT is y'all turn to accept the bummy black woman. So if she got 5, 6 baby daddies and 5, 6 kids, it's y'all turn to take the bummy black women, because we've been dealing with y'all bummy ass from ever since slavery. Okay, yes. We've been dealing with you.
But not only that,
I'm back to hearing y'all color purple story.
But it's not even just that. Faith, it's the fact that it's not even just dealing with the bummy black woman. It's just that.
But y'all choose those niggas. Y'all choose them for the
about these chicks with 5 babies. You know she's having babies from a lot of dudes. You're so desperate for sex, you'll put your penis in them. So
I swear, boy, y'all be having these coming to Jesus, goddamn, y'all picking niggas upside down moments. Like, stop it. Like, no, we not doing it. I was there.
Yeah, Boom Keisha with the 3 kids always got somebody who's willing to be the 4th baby
y'all
daddy.
Y'all Quishas. Stop it.
Yeah, but you worried about Boom Keisha. We're not worried about Boom Keisha.
Okay, so
we've been dealing with broke Tyrone. We tired of dealing with broke Tyrone. Okay, no more broke Tyrone. You call Tyrone and tell him to come on and get his shit, and you go with him. We're not dealing with it no more. We've been dealing with broke Tyrone for Lord knows how long. We tired of y'all.
But the thing about it, you put your penis in this lady. You're choosing to have sexual relationships with a woman that have a lot of kids. She has a pattern. She has a few kids, and I'm not shaming them. I know a lot of them, like I said, women and men and women date for different reasons, and women think having a baby sometime is going to connect her with that dude. Unfortunately, a lot of women, it takes them a while to learn that lesson that it doesn't. No baby will keep any man. Ain't no baby gonna keep any man where he don't want to be. And I learned that when I was 11, like I said the other day. The thing about it is that you're still seeking them. And the reason why, because you can't get the type of woman that you want access to, the ones that don't have the babies, the ones that got to have the nice house, that's not on Section 8, that's not on welfare.
Look, Ice Cream Cake says, hold on. Let me get this. Ice Cream Cake says, no more potential Patrick. That's right. Come on, Ice Cream Cake. Come with it. Come. No more potential Patrick. We tired of that. No more Dusty Daquan. Dusty Daquan. You know what? Bye, Dusty. Bye, Dusty Daquan. We tired of it. BMT, we done dealt with all of that. We done dealt with all of that. No, it's not. It's not okay.
You forgot Glocktavius. You forgot Glocktavius, Faith.
Right, but y'all choose them and shit.
And Dirty Dick Rick, we tired of him too.
Gustavius.
Okay. You see what I'm saying? Y'all girls get a job at T-Mobile and y'all swear up and down y'all made it. Y'all so full of crap. Y'all
But
become CNAs and then y'all swear up and down y'all like doctoral degrees and shit. Y'all stop it, man.
can I
Y'all
say
still
something,
down for
Mr.
it. Y'all still
BMT?
down for it.
Can I say one thing? But a lot of times, those girls you put down, the dusty, crusty, ratchet, boom creatures, the hood boogers, those girls they learned, they self-reflect, they do self-introspection, and they do self-correction. And a lot of them, they get their stuff together. They get into the medical field, they get into they go to school, they do things, they eventually figure it out. But then Dustavia's, Dusty Daquan and them, they still doing what they was doing at 16. They be like 45 still on the block. Living at home with their mama. Even the hood girls get it together. Even those girls you think less of with all the children get it together. And they do, and I've seen them time and time again. They figure it out. They made their mistakes. They made bad decisions. And a lot of them come from damaged homes and trauma. And some of you brothers come from damaged homes and trauma. But every is a cause and effect. Every action causes reaction. You have a lot of men that shame these women, but a lot of you have who have destroyed your family for that same hoe, that same girl you call a hoe, and all these kids. She hood and she's this and she's that. You've destroyed families for those girls just to go between their legs. Well, have more discernment, have some more self-control, and less impulsiveness, and sleeping with women. Maybe they don't have standards, but you're still willing to sleep with them, and you're sleeping with them raw. Come on now. And I'm not trying to say that black women, we are perfect and we have no flaws and we can't level up and get it together, because we do. All of us. Mentally, emotionally, physically, financially. But at the same time, Mr. BMT, every cause and effect. Black women love black men. And we would prefer to be with you. And we want to see black excellence. We want that beautiful black family. But you guys, you want to sling it and do it. And by the time you figure it out, like she said, you an old man, you damn near on your deathbed. You done have 13 kids from 7 different baby mamas. You in the old folks' home. Nobody's coming to see you. Or you do get with some young girl, and she's your nurse. Your penis is the only working at maybe 5% if you're lucky, because that
But
do decline.
that's just it. Black men don't decide to settle down until their penis stop working, and
Then
all of a
what
sudden
you
they
gonna do
want
with
to
a
be good
22?
men.
Lies.
And what are you gonna do with a 22-year-old when your penis is working at 10%? What are you gonna do?
Nothing.
And what are you gonna do?
Nothing.
How else you gonna keep her? Buy her
All he
clothes?
gonna do is hold her back, steal her youth, try to control her, tell her where she can't go,
Right,
make
and
her
he wants
life
to make.
miserable.
She's young, and he probably got some young 22 girl that's damaged. He can manipulate her. He can control her. It's like always the exploitation of us, and that's what Faith is talking about. We're tired of being exploited, and that's what it is. Goldman Sachs gave us that money because they see how hard black women are. We pull ourselves. See, both black men and black women got knocked down in the system, but black women chose to get
Oh,
up.
but
And black women.
did you see where Jennifer Lopez had the nerve to get mad because I think it was Goldman Sachs gave black women all that money, that loan money for
Yeah,
black
her
female businesses.
and that other Spanish actress, I forgot. She was in the the Real House, no, the other show. She was a famous. They really was up in arms. They really. I find, and I live in a
I
city
mean,
where
what do you mean? Why did they give it to black women? Black women don't get nothing. You all are white. Even if
what
they're Latino, they're
but
white. They're
but
white women.
but the thing about it, they're men. They have a situation where they're men. They don't have a situation. Black women, we are in a unique, challenging situation. And if you're a dark skinned black woman, you're even in
Stop.
a more
Stop the
unique
cap.
situation. It's a unique
He
situation
said stop
where
the cap.
we don't have
Nobody
men
say nothing
that
about
we don't
them
have
when they get with a redneck, when they get
we
with a
don't
geek,
have
Facts.
we don't have
when
a
Facts.
y'all get with some
situation.
illegal immigrant
Latino
that can't
men,
speak English
Latino
and need a
Latino
green
Facts.
men,
card.
Latino women
Nobody said
have
nothing when y'all
a
had Stella
support
got that
system.
groove
Facts.
back. When y'all had girls trip, come on, stop it. Y'all been
Latino
Facts.
doing this
women have a
damn.
support system with their men. Even they cheat, they do fucked up. They put their hands and feet, they beat them up,
And,
but they
and hold
also,
on a
but
second.
their
Hold
men
on.
will work.
But hold on, even if we do have girl trips and even if we got Stella getting her groove back, do you know how long y'all have been leaving black women? Black women have been holding the bag for the community ever since we got off the plantation. So if Stella want to get her groove back, if the girls want to have that trip to Dubai, so be it. We are free. We are independent. We can do this. I mean, you all have been doing whatever the hell y'all want to do. We've been holding y'all down and doing everything. And y'all turn around and tell us that we are the least desired women. That's what we get for holding you down. No, 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 no. If we want to go to Dubai, if we want to get our groove back, that is our privilege. We earned it. Black women, this Independence Day, I want you to watch those fireworks go up into the air. And as a matter of fact, buy some of your own. And celebrate the fact that you can get your groove back. Celebrate the fact that you too can take a trip to Dubai and you can get your groove on if you want to. God damn it, you deserve it. You earned it. We earned it. What's up, Chaos?
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Damn, there was a lot of things said here. What the Latinos want, what they call it? 10, what do they want? 10 billion? That's what they want? They probably will get it. They probably will get it eventually, because if you give it to a Negro, you got to give it to their own as well, unfortunately. And since they put that proposition, I wouldn't be surprised in the next couple months you'll see some banker gives Latino women a whole bunch of money, you know? Because wherever the non-black
either, but here's the thing.
Whenever the non-black woman speaks, you know how it is, sisters. They gonna get it most likely. But but my thing is more beyond what they ask it for, because it's always a given. That how can I put this? Because this is Independence Day. A lot of women been traveling longer before black men started traveling in the end of the 20th century. If you're aware of this, they've been traveling since the 70s.
Really?
Yes, a woman did research and wrote a whole book on it. I gotta find the name of it, but I think it's called "In Pursuit of Happiness" something.
I've heard of that. In Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah, and that book came out 4 years ago, and this was some dedicated research, interviews, and etc. And when they talk about these dudes just now start traveling, sisters have been traveling longer. Because think about it.
Yes, we have.
Most of them plan their, and always I find it baffling, depending on what they work and how much they make a year, that they're able to take so many trips. That means they plan very well, because those trips are not cheap; those are expensive.
Yep.
You have to be able to bargain. You have to buy a ticket way in advance, and everything is laid out, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, women traveling
now let me ask
a little
you,
longer.
Chaos, do you think that black women we have earned it? Do you think that we've earned the right to be independent? We've earned the right to get our groove on. We've earned the right to do the things that we're doing now.
I don't know if it's something I could say earn or has to be given, or you already receive it. If you've been doing this longer than the men, I mean, I'm not sure what more can go in this conversation. Men don't really control women. I'm not sure why ladies still think black men control black women. This is something new to me. Usually they come and go as they please. The only time if there was some form of control is probably when, like I said, maybe in some abusive relationship, maybe, and she just don't want to let go. That's the only form of control I can see it. But on that, they move as they please, personally, unless I don't know otherwise.
Well, I can agree with that, because in the black community, black women have pretty much always been sovereign, because we've always been the ones that had to step up and kind of keep things going for the family when our men couldn't. So you're right in that vein. We've always been resourceful and industrious to make money and be business owners. And I feel as if, since we've done the brunt of the work for the community and uplifting black men, we uplifted a lot of brothers. The Black Panther Party, it wouldn't have been nothing without the women that were there in the background doing the groundwork. There were a lot of black women there, a lot of them. And we don't get any type of reward for that. As a matter of fact, I'm
Can I,
sorry. Go ahead, Tia. Go ahead.
I'm so sorry. I gotta add to it. I'm gonna let you finish. I dated a guy several years ago. He's the product of a Black Panther and a white woman. The irony in that. The
Wow.
irony of his mother being a Caucasian woman and his father being black. And he used to put hands and feet on him and his mother. He used to hurt them. And it's
Wow.
so ironic that that after all of that protesting, that fighting, that doing all the stuff, that community speaking black, you wouldn't marry the white woman. He was literally a Black Panther. So I just think that it's interesting and ironic that you brought that up. I'm sorry. Take the floor. Bye bye.
Okay. No. I'm perfectly fine with you interjecting. I do want to acknowledge some of the comments here. Metadoll says something that was really, really good. She said, "Black women travel, but I am sure that they weren't traveling to find some broke men to take advantage of them." And we have Ice Cream Cake. Ice Cream Cake says Black men are costing American economy $50 billion. Wow. Is that true? Black men are costing the American economy.
Can I cut one thing about that is, let's be honest, ladies. America does not give a crap about the amount of money they lose in this economy. They give out money to other countries and probably don't get much in return, depending on what they're doing. So they're not in the business of saying we lose money off of black men. This country's been losing money and still lose money before black people build and still sustain this country with their little what do you call it?
But no, Chaos. That's kind of substantial because black men have been rubbing black women's face in the mud with the fact that they say that we only have a net worth of $5. But if
that's
costing
result
the
of
economy
as
50
black
billion,
men. But you see that's result of black men. Because if women got net worth $5, what's a net worth of black men? They didn't really go into that. Have you noticed that? I've been hearing that stupid shit going around, and usually it's always a reflection of the opposite sex. Because when you look at other race people, the man has something and the woman has everything's reflective. Can we agree?
yeah, I can agree with that, Chaos. But see, if that's true, and Doug is saying that this is true, I got to look this up. That's significant.
Yeah,
Do you know how
let's
long? But look at how long black men have been rubbing black women's faces with this whole $5 net worth thing.
I mean, see, Faith, I don't fall in love about what network is because personally, that's not something as some deem as some accomplishment or something to be shoving in. Because if that's the case, then all right, she has $5. So you're gonna look for a woman that has a higher network. Aren't you supposed to do that? Be carrying the bootload of most of the things. Last time I checked. I mean, see, one thing when they start dealing with network, it's really just showing something because there's a certain thing wrong with a lot of dudes in them where they have like somewhat self-hatred because they gone through something. And the only thing they could beat on, let's be honest, the opposite sex. Because I don't see the purpose of that. Now, in regards to this losing money, if black people really want to be serious, this country losing money, we gotta be honest. This country don't give a fuck about black people, much the money that they're gaining or losing. Unemployment has been what we call it, for black people, men especially, on a upcline for some reason. So really and truly, when I look, and I did streams on that personally, I have to look at it and say that if people using a shove face, it's stupid because this country doesn't really give a crap about how much money they're making and losing. This country is how much in debt now? Faith?
Okay, but I mean that's this country. But we're talking specifically about issues affecting the black community and talking points. And there has been a talking point that has been going around now for the last 5 years about black women only having $5 net worth. But
well, all right. So
here we are trying to explain away the fact that black men are costing the economy $50 billion because the country always owes. But no. We're talking about apples to apples here. Now, if we're going to talk about black women and $5 net worth for 5 years, we do need to talk about this whole $50 billion. Why are black men costing the economy so much?
But you see, it goes back again. This is ticker tack. I'm saying I don't really go miss time say telling women you're worth $5 because that doesn't suit me. That doesn't benefit me. Now, if other dudes want to do it, you could probably use it say, well, as a result of you and you're losing money in country. If you want to use a ticker tack, fine. just to push back the argument. But really true, when we go back and forth, it's not really resolving nothing. And really true, we're not gaining nothing out of this, especially for our network and what the country's losing. At the end of the day, we lose as people because it doesn't suit none of us. The dudes want to shove it because they need their egos boost up. Because what's the next best thing to fight over? Someone that you don't want to fight over that is better. You have to fight over the ones that they could deem weaker, just to make you feel good. And if you're in a
Okay,
place
now
where you
hold
have to
on.
feel
Ice
good,
cream, you said that you dropped the link. I dropped the link down in the chat. I don't know if you're talking about my link or if you posted the link. Now, if you posted the link, I don't see it.
BMT left. Oh no.
Oh, BMT cut out. He got mad. BMT
Well,
always get mad and leave.
I'm probably gonna sit back. I'm just listening. Yeah, I just said my point. So like I said, if y'all want to use a tic tac, it's fine. I don't tic tac because gender wars after a while, it gets played out. Around it because this is the only thing that gets us together to communicate. But other than that, there's nothing really constructive when we're around each other. Personally, it's like it goes back to the Neil Fuller philosophy. If black people do not progressive when we around each other, we should not be interacting. Period. Which I sometimes fight over, but I had to agree with him on that personally. But like I said, it's the only time we interact. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I don't believe in the whole gender warring thing either. And to me, it's whack.
Well, you
To
got
be
to
honest,
tell some of these dudes, and you got to tell some of these dudes. I had to tell some of these dudes, some of these females that, but they don't want to hear that shit. Cause remember, if it's not that, they're not gonna come here and listen to anything that's really needed for their soul, for their intellect, for a place of mind. Cause you can't just war all day, every day. There has to be a time for peace. And if you're constantly look for battles and war, you are mentally ill.
wait a minute. Hold on. Ice cream cake, are you saying that black men are costing the economy $50 billion annually? Seriously? Oh, this is bad. This is bad. On an annual basis, black men are costing the economy $50 billion.
That's the report that came out. Yes.
Wow. Please drop the link again, Ice Cream. I didn't see the link. I can't find it. Wow. That's amazing.
Do she need a wrench? She needs to be a subscriber in order to get the.
Hold on. I thought, wait a minute. I didn't give Ice Cream Cake a wrench. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. That's the reason why your link didn't show up. Hold on. Let me give you a wrench. Okay, Ice Cream. You are now a moderator. I
Use
thought
it
I gave her
well.
a wrench.
Use it well.
There it is.
Okay, I
Use
see
it
it now.
for good, never evil. Do not use the wrench for evil. You must use it for good.
Can I say something? To what is that? His name is Chaos.
Yes.
Rain. I can't. Oh, so I understand the point you're making. You feel like it's mute, and why are we going back and forth? Again, I think I don't know if you was listening earlier. I just said that black women are having a conversation. I don't think it's a war, gender war. I think black women are comparing notes. They're discussing their grievances, and you have to understand. Let me finish. We're human, and we have to heal, because to be honest, if I'm gonna be honest with you, how it feels for a lot of black women, and even for myself a little bit at one point, it feels like a death. Our relationship, our connection to black men feels like a death. It feels like a loss. It feels like a loss in the family, a death, because the relationship is so fractured, and like social media has revealed that. Social media has revealed, because in the past 20 years about you, and it's even prior to social media. I mean, you go back to the James Earl Jones, the Sidney Poitiers, the Quincy Jones, the Harry Belafonte, Sammy Davis Jr. You see who they chose then. No, and those men are in their 90s or would have been 100-something years old today. So this is not just a millennial or Z generation or even a Generation X thing. Black men, unfortunately, are saying with their chests how they really feel about one, blackness, and how they feel about us. And I'm not saying black women, we are perfect, and we are not. Some of us are not messy and messy,
Mhm.
but women are seeing. I mean, I live in a major city where it's like you could throw a rock, you could hit down one block and hit 20,
Is
20,
this the
20,
West
20
Coast or
interracial
East Coast?
couples, interracial couples with a black man and a non-black woman.
Is
So
this the West Coast or East Coast? Major city.
this is the East Coast, but let me finish.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you have the
Okay.
floor. So my point I'm trying to say is, we're human and it's a grievance, and to me, it feels like a death. It feels like a loss of an idea, a loss of a fantasy with our natural counterparts. See, we're hardwired to love black men, but black men are not reciprocating that. They're not showing that. They're telling us, oh, now they're telling us we're too fat, we're too our hair, the makeup, we're not feminine, we're too masculine, we're too independent. But I've seen so many of you be with morbidly obese non-black women. I've seen you be with non-black women with a bunch of children. I've seen you be with non-black women that are not the most, let's say they wouldn't be select in their community. I've seen you be, but you call us ugly, and you'll say all these awful things about us. So it hurts. We're human, and it's a grievance, and we're just discussing our hurt, because it's hypocritical to say you don't like all these things in us, but you'll take it in another woman. I see.
Exactly.
I see black men who are submissive to white women and non-black women. They're submissive. I see,
Yes.
even though I see them, I see them go out of their way, even though I've seen them get cheated on by these women or disrespected by these women. I have a friend right now. He not only he caught gonorrhea from his Caucasian baby mama, so he started dating someone else. She harassing him, key the car. I mean, you would think that she was some hood chick, right? But she's a blonde, blue-eyed Becky, right?
Yeah,
So
they attract the same thing that they've been attracting in the black community. What the men go after is the same thing. They always go for the bottom of the barrel women. Even the bottom of the barrel women in the black community, they go after those women. They get angry at those women. Then they go into other communities. They get the
mhm,
bottom of the barrel and they complain about that too. So wherever you go, there you are. But let me
exactly.
go ahead and
Go ahead.
play
Go
this
ahead. Go ahead.
video.
Back. You may not see a lot of headlines about this, but we are in a serious crisis when it comes to Black unemployment. On average, joblessness for Black men is 3 times worse than what it is generally assumed, especially when compared to white men. In fact, a recent report from the Center for Economic and Policy Research found that closing the gap between white and Black employment rates could add $30 billion to Black communities. This would be an amazing and significant boost in the fight to reduce Black poverty in the U.S. Urgent action is needed from policymakers in order to slow this crisis and close this ever widening employment gap. Dr. Algernon Austin is here to tell us more about this report. He is the Director for Race and Economic Justice at the Center for Economic and Policy Research. Good evening. Thank you so much for being here. I want to start with a brief synopsis of some of the troubling trends that the report uncovered. Can you tell us what you found in the report and if you were surprised by any of the findings?
I was quite surprised. The important thing for people to understand why the unemployment rate, the official unemployment rate, undercounts Black men is that if you have difficulties finding a job, if you've been rejected several times, for example, you may get discouraged and stop looking for work. But immediately, the moment you stop looking for work is the moment that the Bureau of Labor Statistics say you are no longer unemployed, although you're jobless. If you're living in an economically depressed community and you see that there are no jobs around and you don't apply, and because of that you're not looking for work, you are not counted as jobless, although you do not have a job. So when you take into account, unfortunately, because of incarceration, because people who were formerly incarcerated, Black men who were formerly incarcerated, have serious difficulties finding work. When you take into account those people who were not being counted by the BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, we find that it's 3 times the official unemployment rate. But we can go even further. I talked about men who were released from prison. There's still significant numbers of men in prison. And when you take them into consideration, and also take into account the high mortality rate for Black men, although Black men are deceased, they may still have kids who need their support. So when you do a full accounting, the difference is not 3 times, but 4 times the official rate when you take into account the incarcerated and the deceased. And that number, it goes from the 30 billion to 50 billion. 50 billion that Black communities are losing every year because of the problem of joblessness for Black men.
Wow. And it's something that it seems to me we just don't talk about enough. And thank you so much for lifting up the underreporting of the jobs report, because the White House, for sure, always wants to tout the job report, and, it just misses the mark a lot of times on what's really happening in our communities. Your report also found that tighter labor markets are actually good for reducing joblessness among Black people, but they don't actually help with reducing the joblessness gap. So talk to us about that and about the gap.
Yeah, we're seeing, what we're seeing with the labor market now is more or less what's happening to Black men all the time. So the unemployment rate is going down nationally. And yes, people are touting that. But the fact is that there's still millions of people who are not entering the labor market because they don't want to get COVID, they don't have child care, they retire early because they're afraid. So it's not fully counting joblessness. And yes, when we recover, more people of all races, including Black men, will be employed. So that is a good thing. We do want a recovery to where we were in 2019. But even in 2019, there were still many Black men who, because of racial discrimination in the labor market, weren't able to get jobs because they were returning citizens or formerly incarcerated. They weren't able to get jobs because they lived in very repressed communities, maybe similar to Detroit. They weren't able to get jobs. And we ignore those men. We don't count them. And it's very misleading. So yes, we want the recovery, but we need more, because we have to go against the discrimination against Black men for being Black, for being male, for being assumed to be an ex-offender, even if they might not be an ex-offender. And because, so unfortunately, many Black communities are suffering from years of underdevelopment and have low amounts of jobs available.
The pandemic has done so much damage to the labor market for everybody. And the unemployment crisis is even more daunting when you take into account that this issue has spanned for over 2 decades, probably longer than that. Yet workers have really taken matters into their own hands, it seems, and are speaking up, and they're fighting back against unfair conditions. You just kind of alluded to the fact that some people are choosing not to go back to work. There was a point where employees were announcing, all the employers, I should say, were announcing all these crazy incentives to try to get people to come. Do you think that there's a power dynamic shift right now, where power is shifting to the hands of the workers? And is that something that Black men might be able to benefit from?
Yes, there is a power shift, because as we've just said, there are many people who are afraid to go back to work or not able to go back to work. So yes, so we are shifting, particularly for low wage workers. We're seeing significant increases in wages, and wages are only going to increase when there's that shift in bargaining power. So all of these things are helpful. They're helpful to the Black men who are employed in those sectors, but unfortunately, we're going to still need more. So we're going to need something like we did in the Great Depression. So I talked about, unfortunately, many Black communities are economically depressed. And what we did in the Great Depression there were large-scale subsidized jobs programs through the Work Progress Administration that got people employed and helped revitalize the economy. So in these depressed Black communities, as well as you were just talking about the border, as well as economically depressed communities around the border, where you just talked about 30% poverty rate. In Native American communities, you have serious joblessness and economic depression. And even in Appalachia, you have white communities that are suffering with high levels of joblessness. So we really need to not forget these communities. And the federal government needs to do what they did during the Great Depression and really support job creation through federally subsidized jobs.
You know, you are using language that makes me think about a New Deal for Black America, for sure. And it seems to me that Joe Biden's Build Back Better is an attempt to bridge a lot of the systemic issues and the structural gaps that you're talking about. And I wonder if you think that there is anything in Build Back Better that might get to some of this employment gap that we're discussing.
Well, yeah, the proposals that the Biden administration have put forth are really amazing, and it's unfortunate that they're so stymied. There's a lot of good things. You know, I and a colleague are looking at just the Medicaid gap fix. As you may know, many southern states with very large Black populations did not expand Medicaid as they were encouraged to do under the Affordable Care Act, under Obamacare. And Build Back Better has a fix to address that problem in spite of the state's resistance to actually helping their citizens get health insurance. So the Build Back Better has ways to address that and address a number of other problems that we're facing as a country. But unfortunately, this problem is not fully addressed by Build Back Better. Again, it's something that, you know, we're not paying attention to, and we haven't devoted enough attention to. And I think we will need even more, assuming we can get Build Back Better, which is a huge assumption. We would still need even more to address the problem.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm so glad that we are amplifying this conversation tonight about what's happening with Black men and employment. This was such an interesting conversation. Dr. Algernon Austin, thank you so much for being here on Amplified. Appreciate you.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn my volume back up and stop the screen sharing. All right, so we just saw something that was very interesting here. We saw that Black men are costing the country $50 billion annually. This is every year, $50 billion. And what this gentleman just described to me, it sounds as if that there isn't enough jobs for Black men. There are a lot of Black men incarcerated. There are a lot of Black men that are dying. There's just so much that are affecting the Black male community to the tune of $50 billion a year. And I want to know, how come Black men are not getting together and trying to figure out how they can do something about that? But instead, I'm hearing more and more Black men getting online, and they're constantly wanting to control Black women. This is the reason why, and thank you so much, Ice Cream Cake, for sharing that link with us. I want to thank you so much, because
Thank you.
that's significant. That is very significant. Go ahead, Tia.
But that goes back to what you said initially when you started the live, Faith. You said something about us being mules, exploiting us. They benefit from us. That's why you heard this whole campaign about submission. Don't be that be submissive. Submissive mean like, I don't want you to have. I don't want this awaken. I don't want you to have standards. I don't want you to now ask me to be a man and do as a man's supposed to do. Men are supposed to do. I want it the same. I want you. I benefit from you because if I live with you, whatever little money I do have, I'll cuff it. That'll be my money, and you. A lot of black women are towing the line. Let's be honest. You know it. I know it. A lot of black males, unfortunately, are not going to do it. That's why I encourage black women: don't play house with men. Don't play house because you give them wifey benefits without being a wife. You don't live with someone unless you got a engagement ring and there's a date set and a deposit put down. You shouldn't live with each other because that just gives them fuel to say, oh, you know that expression, why buy the cow if you get the milk for free? So living with each other is a benefit for them. Living with you in your place, in your home, your apartment, wherever it is, you paying half 50% or more of the bills is a benefit. So why would they get a job? I know more women that are taking care of men than any man that's taking care of women. It just is. It is what it is. And the fact of the matter is that there's no incentive. And then a lot of black women, unfortunately, we have a lot of low self-esteem and low self-worth, and we value what black men think, and we want them to see us, and we want to be everything we can to them. So we'll say, screw it. I know, let me just toe the line and do what I have to do. So he's comfortable. He's a lot of black men are being kept in this country. So why would they, when they got and if it's not a woman that they're intimate with, it could be living with their mama, their grandma, their sister. You said the couch kings. They have comfortable situations where it's either, I hate to use the word, mammy, pygmisha, what's the other word, black male worshiper, whatever. They have outlets, and they have a support system with black women. They have a support system, whether it's an intimate relationship or if it's a relative. They don't have to. Most of them are not going to go homeless. They're not going to go homeless. They're going to eat because there's some black woman who's going to take them in. It just is what it is. And so there's no incentive. They're going and they're going to get sex because they're going to get sex. They're going to get. It's just we don't do what we need to do. We're holding their hands. We infantize them. We make them infants. We hold their hands for everything. We coddle them. So why would they want to?
But here's the thing: do you think that this joblessness crisis that black men are facing? Because Ice Cream Cake just showed me another video. She has a lot of videos where they're reporting that black men are facing a joblessness crisis. What is going on here? I mean, is it that these companies are not hiring black men, or are black men not applying for the job? I mean, what's going on?
I think it's also what I've been told. I've worked in the industry. I've been working for many years of my life since I was a teenager from Summer Youth, and I'm not going to tell you when that was. That was a long while ago. So my point is, I'm finding my experience that, first of all, I'm going to say something, it's going to trigger a lot of people, but most black people, that's including the women, we need to lay on somebody's couch. A lot of us need mental health services. And how I'm going to move, and that's going to segue into a lot of black males. A lot of them don't complete school. Some of them don't have GEDs. Some of them are barely literate, if not completely. A lot of them are not. They don't apply. They missed the boat. A lot of them, especially of a certain age, Generation X. There, a lot of them was in the streets like that, up to some of the millennials, and then some of them, they just don't value school. And then even when they go out to school, they don't. And it's social skills. A lot of black males don't have the social skills and they don't understand decorum and protocol. I remember at one job, this guy, he started on Monday. They walked him out on Wednesday, and that was a desk job. He's online taking people's personal information and stuff like that. Like, they don't have, I hated to say it, and he was a suit and tie. They have and I was just at a recent job. Another manager just got fired. He was a black male. It's like they have a hustles mentality, whether they Pookie Ray Rays with the pants hanging down or the suit and ties. Unfortunately, a lot of them don't have a lot of examples of black male leadership, a lot of black male excellence. Just seeing a father in the house who works hard, bring home the bacon. They see mama, grandmas, aunties, but they don't see a lot of that. So they don't have the social skills. So they get to these jobs. I was at one job, the manager told the brother to do something. He was a non-black man. And the dude this is a big dude, swollen, chiseled to the guy. He knocked this dude out. And I'm like, what are you doing? He said, I don't like the way he talking to me. You don't knock people out because you don't like the way he talking to you. Again, it goes back to the social skills. They don't understand decorum and protocol. Some of them, they get there, they're angry. They're not used to working hard. They're not used to. They're just not used to it. And they don't have examples of it in their lives. So they don't understand it. They just feel like this is slavery. They feel they don't like work. I mean, there's a couple of viral videos. There's one brother, he was telling the woman's going back and forth with his sister because he wasn't getting the order right. I don't know if you saw that video. And he said, I'm gonna call tell you manager. He said, I don't care. I don't even like working. They admit that they don't like to work. They don't want someone telling them what to do. Sorry, I apologize for the coughing. It's a problem
okay.
because
take your time. Take your time.
I'm so sorry. They don't understand how to be in social settings especially a diverse social setting. They don't know how to deal with it, and they just have it's a hustler mentality. They're either going to do something wrong or take something. They're not. So you know who replaces them? The Latinos or the Indians. They're the new minority. Black men, and also they have a propensity for violence. All men do, but black men sometimes, if they get triggered or angry, I've been on more than one jobs where they've gotten into physical altercations with people. It's a problem, and they don't have the social skills. Again, they don't have the examples. I really think that's the core of it. And then it's also some of them, they can get into jobs. They have degrees, but they'll start screaming and get angry because there is a certain amount of exclusion and stuff. And sometimes if they don't know how to do stuff, even if they have a degree, let me tell you, doesn't determine that you're smarter. It's just a great accomplishment, but that doesn't mean you're smarter. And that doesn't mean you're going to do well and you're going to be able to acclimate and you can problem solve and do stuff. And if they feel inadequate or made to feel not intelligent, they're triggered. They get emotional, and black people are very sensitive anyway. So black males are even more sensitive, even more than us sometimes. So it's a problem. They don't always do well in out as corporate to the white collar to blue collar jobs. Sometimes, a lot of them, especially, they just don't do well. They don't do well, even if and they don't like the work. They don't like the hard work of it. And I hate saying it. I know some people are going to come after me, but it's true.
But you know what? No, it has to be said because, see, they are the first ones to tell us that we have to hold each other accountable. And that's what we have been doing. That is the reason why we have been choosing better. And black women, I'm so proud, have been choosing ourselves. And we're no longer being the mammies and the mules. We're no longer falling victim to feeling sorry. Because I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, not sorry. But I don't want black women to hear about the joblessness situation that black men are facing, and all of a sudden we're going to put on our cape and we're going to say, oh, you know what, it's the economy, these poor black men, they can't find work. No, we have come too far for that, sisters. Do not put your cape on because they're experiencing this. They're going to have to find a way to work their way out of it. Don't you put your cape on talking about you gonna feel sorry for this black man and help him out.
Yeah, but we do it
because when they told us that we chose welfare over them when we were just trying to feed our children. They told us that they didn't care about the black community and that the community could burn. They told us they didn't care if the children starved. So I don't want to hear any black women looking at any of this stuff that you see on the news about black men having a problem with the joblessness and the economy and all of that. And them costing the United States $50 billion annually. Don't y'all throw y'all capes on talking about we need to stand up and help the brothers. The brothers need to stand up and help themselves out. They need to get in a little huddle like we did. Get in a little huddle, and they need to figure out their problem.
And can I say something? I'm sorry. Can I say something to add something? add on to that, the welfare thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you something. What my father did, he made an outside child with a woman, and the woman, she had a job and stuff, but she said, "What are we gonna do?" Whatever. My half sister. You know what my father told her? I was before I was born. He told her, this was in the city. He told her get on welfare. And I'm being honest with you. He told her get on welfare. And I'm using that example and I'm opening up. Because they tell you this trope, oh, no black woman is going to choose. You think I would choose welfare over a man that's providing, protecting, loving me, loving the children, there for me? Absolutely. Over subsidized income that's controlled by the government. I can only eat about whatever they give me. No woman on this earth. You guys haven't been. You've been abandoning us since after slavery. You were prostituting us. You was beating our behinds and whatever. You guys ran around all over, have families here, families there. You did that. They did. And I'm not saying black men. It's not even an attack on them. Again, like you said, we have to stop caping. We have to stop playing house with them.
Hold on a second. Doug says Amiri debunked the women left men for welfare. Really? Yeah. When? When did Amiri debunk?
An Army recruiter told me so. They can't pass ABSA.
That is so interesting. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. That's very interesting. I read that earlier on, and I said this earlier. You said stop caping, stop being the mammy, the mule, stop calling them.
Hold on a second. See, I have to say something. Doug, I was on that show when I was up there with Amiri, and I was talking to Amiri about talking points that I had said on this channel about black women not leaving black men for welfare. But Amiri got credit for it because he's a man. But let me go ahead. Go ahead and continue.
No, I was just saying I'm just to I can't articulate myself. The fact that we shouldn't cape, we shouldn't mammy, we shouldn't hold their hands anymore. I'm not saying you can't love them and be their friends and be kind to them, but you have to also understand they have to figure out manhood on their own. And living with them is not helping them, especially if they're not married. If a dude don't I emphasize that so much because I found that you wind up living with this dude 10, 15, 20 years sometimes, or you waste many years because the conversation, and the problem is black women too, we have the issue, we don't even have the conversation. We got so used to being baby mamas, we just like, and I'm not knocking baby mamas. My point is that we have to do better in our decision making. We have to do better in our decision making with these men. And like I said, they will, again, they'll shame baby mothers and all this stuff, but you're making these baby mothers. You're making them. You're sleep, you're doing it, and then you're not wifing them. You're not doing all this stuff. They want to say the welfare. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm choking also my whole thoughts. But anyway, like I said, I agree with everything you said, Miss Faith. But I'm gonna let Miss Womansphere take this because I'm interested in what she has to say.
Hey, what's up, Miss Womansphere?
You looking real fine, girl. You looking real fine. But I want to say this. Because I wanted to ask you this. Because I caught it. Because I've been keeping up with the Better Class A Woman series. And this is what I want to ask you, Miss Faith. When you talked about the entitlement piece for the McDonald's lady, what did you mean by that?
Well, if you want to go back to the McDonald's thing, I can. When I didn't know that it was a hoax, according to, certain rumors online, they said it was a hoax. But
yeah, it was a skit. It was a skit.
Yeah. But when I didn't know it was a skit, if she's asking this one guy that isn't the other children's father, by the way, they dated, he didn't marry her, he changed his mind, he didn't want to have a relationship with her anymore, but he just wants to be there for his child. That is his, his thing. He has the right to do that. Everybody has the right to change their mind. Women, we have the right to change our mind, and men have the right to change their mind. So now if she expects him to do for all the other kids because his representative did it when they first started dating, because when everybody first started dating, they send their representative. Some people can keep up the facade and some people can't. He could not keep up the facade. His representative went away, and he did not want to continue to do for the kids because he was only doing it to get what he got. So she should not expect anything of that type of person. That's what I was saying.
I want to say for me, because I was on a Manosphere channel, because since I've been with this whole situation, I've been dealing with a lot more men that I would like. Okay. Girl,
I've been listening to some of the Manosphere stuff. Like I said, when I was over there, Sister George, I told her it's getting kind of difficult, to try to do this series and to try to, hold women accountable for what we need to be held accountable for, and to build from the inside out what we need to build in order to be a better class. But you do have these Manosphere men that have these talking points that make you cringe inside, and it makes you want to just put your foot on their neck. It does.
Because they got their knees all on your neck. Mm-hmm. All we need, because since Roe v. versus Wade, Miss Faith, I've been, oh my God, in so many different rallies and events. And I had a white woman tell me, all I need white men to do is take their knee off my neck. And I said, damn. Wow. I said, this is where white women and black men, this is why they bond.
I was just thinking that.
Yep.
Yeah,
I was thinking the same thing.
They both feel like they're fighting the same white supremacy. They're fighting the same white man. That's why black men get with these white women.
Yep. This is why white men and white women bond. Because they both fighting white women don't fuck with white men. They know how treacherous they are. And this is why they bond with black men. And it just leaves us, look where it leaves us though. Because these are our natural counterparts, right?
Yes.
So look where it leaves us. Mm-hmm. And now we got Roe v. versus Wade. This is where I was at, y'all, at a rally. But I wanted to talk to Miss Faith about what she said about that. Because I want to say this. I was raised, you don't eat in nobody's face. You don't eat in nobody's face. Mm-hmm. You don't come to nobody's house, and you don't share. I was taught to share. So it doesn't matter whether it's children, men, cat, dog, nobody.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta, if you coming with this food, you ain't coming in front of everybody now. Mm-hmm. Kiss my ass. If you come in my house and you ain't got no food for everybody, you a goddamn raggedy ass dog.
I agree.
And that's how we viewed you. So it's that whole conversation was idiotic, stupid, dumb. Because it's like,
but you know what? Even though that was a skit, that type of stuff do happen in the lower echelons of our society, and sometimes in the upper echelons. But here's the thing: I told black women this: in this day and age, if you still sitting up here expecting somebody to be nice to you, in this day and age, You still expecting the people to have manners in this day and age? You a damn fool. Now let me tell you something. Now you could do like she did. You can throw that McDonald's out there on the ground if you want to. That's your house, your rules. But at the same token, where were the other baby fathers if this was real? If this was real, if she got the gumption to stand in that man's face and demand of that man to feed his child and the other 3 children that she had with the other 3 men, then how come she don't have the same gumption to go stand in those men's face and tell them
But
to
see,
feed their
you
children?
thinking about it, you thinking about it on some gender war
No, no,
type shit.
no, 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 no. I'm not
No,
thinking about
you
it off
just
no gender war. No, no, no.
yes, you are. You not
No,
thinking
I'm not.
about it
No, I'm
from
not.
just humanity.
It is basic.
Humanity.
It is basic. No, I understand humanity. Now, me myself, I would not bring food for children, and there's other
Okay, so
children.
if
That's
you
just me.
understand that, why are you
But
trying to make
everybody,
excuses for
woman
a
said,
man?
everybody is not a nice person. We live in a
Okay,
world where you don't
no,
have
no, 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 no,
control
no,
over
no,
nobody.
no.
Woman said,
Can I
at the end of the day, who can you control?
But you
can I
gotta understand, baby.
Woman
I'm
said,
not dealing with. I'm not
at the
dealing with
end of
nobody
the
that
day,
operate like that.
can you control that man at the end of the day?
I'm not dealing with no man that operate like
Exactly.
that, boo.
The only person that you control is yourself. You can't
Yeah,
control
I
that
don't deal
man
with
at
men
the end
that
of the
I
day.
don't even know people. I'm be honest with y'all. That conversation was so idiotic. I didn't even have it. I didn't even address it on my channel because it was idiotic. I don't know people who don't feed people. Like I don't
Oh,
know
oh, oh.
people
Woman Spirit,
who feel like you can't get a
you would
meal.
be
I don't know
surprised. You
people.
would be
Yep.
surprised. You would be surprised.
Okay,
Now,
well I don't know
there are
them.
many of us that are not that far separated from people that act like that. I know people that act like that.
I
And what I'm
don't.
saying
I
is,
don't.
at the end of the
can
day,
can I
at the end of the day, you cannot control nobody but
Yeah,
yourself.
I
You can't
don't. I
control
don't
that
fuck with
man.
can
people like that.
At the
can
end of
I
the
I don't
day,
fuck with people like that.
you're gonna have to learn a word called acceptance. You look at that man,
No,
and when
I don't
somebody
accept
show
that.
you who
I
they
don't
are,
accept that. I don't accept that.
hold on. When someone shows you who they are, when they show you exactly who they are, you believe them. That's the acceptance that I'm talking about. It's not that you accept
But
being treated
I
bad.
don't know people
You
like that.
hold on.
My energy
And
don't even
when she
vibrate
did the
to people
second
like that.
video, even though they said it was a hoax, but she's still opening her legs to this man. She accepted that treatment. And
But
what I'm
see, you
saying
sound
is
silly, girl.
the
No,
only
that ain't
person
no,
that you can
no, no, no,
control
no, no, no.
is yourself. No,
No,
Ladies,
you
you
yes,
can't.
guys,
yes,
You
she has to
can't.
be
You
responsible.
can't.
She has
You
to be
can't.
responsible for that.
You can't. Cause
Yes,
no, you
yes, she
can't.
can.
Faith,
Yes, she can.
faith, faith,
Hold on,
faith.
hold on.
You
If
gotta.
if
You
she
gotta.
accepts
It
it,
ain't even about
if she
gender.
accepts
It
it,
ain't
that's what
about
it is.
children. It ain't about none of that. It's not about none of that. It's about when you around somebody and you eating. You feed like I was taught you don't eat in front of people if they can't eat.
Hold on a
So
second. So are you
people that
okay? So are you gonna take the McDonald's and throw it out? Do like she did. Take the McDonald's, throw it out, tell him to leave. But that's about the extent of what you can do. You can't make him bring your kids McDonald's,
girl,
not
you
the ones that
sound
don't belong
crazy.
to him.
You
can,
sound
No, you
crazy.
sound crazy. You're gonna make this man buy McDonald's for kids that's not his. That's
No, you
crazy.
sound
You're gonna
crazy.
try to
Just
make
show
this
love
man
to
buy for
everybody.
kids that's not
Show
his.
love to everybody. It ain't about children. It ain't about
But
men.
what if
It
he
ain't
don't
about
love
women.
those other
It's about
kids?
you don't no,
What if he does
it's
not love those other kids? What about that you don't understand?
if you don't eat in
That
front
man
of
only
people, Miss
fought for
Faith.
those kids because he wanted
You
some
don't
poom poom.
listen,
That
babe,
was it.
babe,
That was it.
babe.
And so now you got to accept the fact that he used you and move on. You have control
Okay,
over
babe,
access.
you
Don't
don't
give him
eat in front
access.
of people. You
It
don't eat
doesn't
in front
matter.
of
You're not
people.
going to be
can I
able to
It
interject?
make
don't
that
matter.
man do that.
Ladies, can I interject real quick?
It
Can I
don't
say something?
matter.
Can I say something, ladies, real quick?
You
Yeah,
don't
go
eat in
ahead.
front of people.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say something. I understand what women's fear too. I grew up in the house. Like if I'm coming over to women's fear's house and I'd be like, "Hey girl, I'm coming over. Hey, I'm hungry. Do you want something? Because I'm gonna pick something up." I understand what she's saying. I think as on the level of just being raised, but you have to understand everyone's not raised the same. Like you said, everyone is not raised. And let's say it was a real scenario, it was a real thing that happened. You don't know how that guy's money is. And even though she in the second video, she said he does. My point is, I understand what women's fears, and I understand exactly what Faith is saying. No, he's not obligated to it. So it should have been a situation where let me grab him, let me take him for a ride. He eating that car, blah 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 blah. But again, I understand what women's fear is saying, and I understand what Faith's saying. He's not obligated to those other kids. You don't know what the dynamics of that. If it was a real relationship, what it would be, and you don't know if he's just she didn't choose a good dude. So if he got $25 in the pocket, and he went to the dollar menu, the $2 menu, and bought his kid, and he ain't gonna spend all his money on the rest of the kids. I understand that because his little man called him and said, "Hey, Dad, I want some fries." Blah 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 blah. But I have to understand. I can see both sides. Women's fear is saying as I just went to an event this past Saturday, not this Saturday, last Saturday. They didn't ask me to do anything. So it was someone's house. I said, "Hey, do you need me to bring anything?" They said, "No, I got it." I said, "You know what? I'm gonna bring a bottle of wine." I brought some wine and a cake. She didn't ask me to. She didn't require it from me, but I did it because I was taught you don't go home to people's homes empty-handed.
Exactly.
That's what I was taught.
And those of us that were taught that we would do that, but there are some people that won't do that. But you can't control what the next person is going to do. Everybody don't feel the same way, and they're not obligated.
That's true, and that's what I'm saying. Everyone's not taught the same. The younger generation's a little different from us. They don't really have that etiquette and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just think to me in my mind, the gender war rhetoric has gone too far. Now we sitting up here talking about, giving kids food. Like it's gone too far, y'all. It's gone way too far. And it's like now we judging women and men based off whether they get food or not, or whether they accept food or not. This shit is weak. I'm so sick of this shit. I'm sick of it. I ain't gonna even lie with y'all. Like I was on another channel and I was telling them the same. I'm sick of it. This shit is stupid. We shouldn't even be talking about this. It's kids. Feed kids. That's the end of discussion. Like nobody needs to be sitting up talking about what kids they gonna feed and what kids they ain't gonna feed. It's fucking kids. We don't need to be talking about aborting black male babies and all that shit. This shit is getting too far, y'all. It's getting too far. And we sitting up really having these conversations. I can't even believe y'all. I can't believe y'all. I can't. I'm disgusted.
It's not just a debate about feeding back children, but it's a debate about a black father feeding his black child and whether he's obligated to feed
it don't matter.
It
don't faith. At the end of the day, it's not about a black father.
He's not obligated. He's not obligated. Nobody can
listen, Faith. Just hear me out. Just hear me out. Just hear me out, Faith. Just hear me out. I don't give a fuck if it's your kid, my kid, they kid. It's a kid.
You are coming at this from an emotional point of view.
No, it's a kid. No,
you are. See, me, I don't look at it an emotion. I take my emotion out of it because once the man takes his emotion out of it, it's children. This man took his emotions out of it. He no longer wants to do for her and her other children, and she can't do anything about it. There's nothing
that she can do about it. Shit, Faith, and you know it. Just be real.
There's nothing about gender war. There's nothing
it is. Just be real, boo.
Just be real. That isn't
just
his.
Be real.
But I do have
just
to get
be
to
real.
The other
this ain't a better class of a woman. Because a better class of a woman will feed children. Will feed children. A better class of a woman will feed children. So now you're not going to feed children? No, you're not going to feed children?
Hold on.
You're not going to feed children.
You're not going to feed children. I feed children, but at the same time, I'm not going to make somebody feed a child that they don't want to feed. I'm not going to make nobody do something that they don't want to do. Now, let me go ahead and move on to the next person. Demetrius, what is the last name there?
Higashikata.
Higashikata. Welcome to the panel.
So, while I understand what Woman's Sphere is trying to say, in order for a better Black community to take place, that sort of stuff would need to be normalized. But at the same time, you must understand that it is a courtesy, and courtesies are not to be entitled. I remember seeing a video of a woman yelling on a metro, like a bus, saying which one of the men or the young men are going to get up and give me their seat. While that is a courtesy, part of chivalry, it's not an obligation.
Right.
So, and I understand I probably sound like a piece of crap talking like that.
Man.
I understand that I probably sound like a piece of crap talking like that.
Children.
But you have to understand
literally arguing, feeding children. Arguing, feeding children.
Woman's Sphere. Let him finish. Let the man finish. Let the man finish. Go ahead.
Then that would mean the men around her would probably want to start like a soup kitchen for the kids in the neighborhood, and then she can bring them there. Then they gotta feed them.
Right.
We
and
already have sort of these things
what
in
I
place
feel
for
too.
that to occur. We don't. And the thing about soup kitchens is it's volunteer work. So then the type of people that she's advocating for, they'd be there. And the people who aren't, don't pay attention to them, because you need to stick with your group.
Exactly.
Stick with the people who think like you. America's way too free for you to be worrying about everybody else and what they believe. Just find your group.
Find your tribe.
Exactly. That's what people in high school had to do. That's what people in college had to do. That's what people in the workplace had to do. Find your place and grow from there. Don't try to, like change everybody. It ain't gonna work that way. And I'm speaking to you as a young man, as a Gen Zer. It ain't gonna work that way. Some of these adults, they're way too stuck in their ways.
Okay. Now, this is the thing. Doug says everyone is missing the point. You have 4 children and one is eating McDonald's in front of his siblings without McDonald's every day. And whose fault is that? See, here's the thing that I want everyone to understand. And like they said, this might have been a skit, might not have been real, but there are situations that happen like this all the time. You have a woman with multiple baby fathers. First of all, whose fault that those children have multiple baby fathers in the first place?
With all her glam done. With all her glamour done.
Right. Well, you know what? It don't even matter about her being fixed up, because I don't get on women about fixing themselves up. If she want to fix up, that's great.
Right.
But here's the thing. It is not the fault of that one man that she has multiple baby fathers. The only child in that household that he's obligated to is his one child. Right. So it would be nice if he did for the other children, but he doesn't want to, and she's not going to be able to make him do it. The court won't make him do it. Now, the court of public opinion, which would be Doug and Woman's Sphere and people of their ilk, and myself, I wouldn't feel, comfortable letting a child eat in front of other children. But guess what? If that man wants to bring his one child McDonald's and I feel so bad about it, I'm not going to try to debo him and make him feel like shit because he's doing for his kids. I'm going to get my ass up, and if I feel just that bad, I'm going to go and get the other children McDonald's. Because
they could also go split the meal.
I can control is myself. And if I don't want the other child to eat in front of the other kids, I'm not going to throw away his McDonald's that his father gave him, because that's what his father gave him. Now he can go with his father, because the man did offer to, hey, come let him sit in the car with me and let him eat with me. She could have did that, but she didn't want to. So that's why I said the entitlement and her disposition, she was out of order. She was out of order. And we as Black women, if we think like that, if we think we're going to control somebody by acting like that, you keep acting like that and see where that gets you.
And not only that, Faith, it's that it's not what you say, is how you say it. She could have conveyed it in a different way, like, hey, the other kids in here, you couldn't hit that dollar menu and get a couple extra little cheeseburgers, blah, blah. I don't know how much it is. And that, you could have said that, and he would have said, wait, listen, my money's funny. I don't have it like that. So boom, you pivot, you problem solve. Like you said, Faith, you take your other 3 kids to the McDonald's, or you say, hey, you going, well, I'm gonna send him out and he's gonna eat that in the car with you. You know what I mean? Even though that kid will probably come back home, oh yeah, I just had McDonald's with my dad. The kids might feel a certain way, but when they visually, if those other children see visually that one sibling having McDonald's in the house, that's gonna affect them. Like Doug was saying, they're gonna feel a certain way. They're gonna be mean. They're gonna take it. They're gonna whatever. And the issue is that it's not what you do, is how you do. It's not what you say, is how you say it. If it was real, or if it's not even as a skit, that. You're right. That stuff like that do happen. Some girls get crazy. And like I said, I don't think she was screaming at him about the kid if it was real. It's really about their relationship. It's deeper than that. It's not about her and the son eating food in front of the kids. It's about her relationship with that guy, because they still hooking up. And like I told you, I said it on your other live, I said that, my nephew had a daughter with a girl. So I would go over to that house, and she had 2 other kids from 2 other men. When I brought stuff for her, I brought stuff for them. Now on Christmas, I might get her 2 or 3 gifts and buy them 1 or 2 gifts each, but I didn't come empty-handed for them, because I was taught that way. I grew up that way. I was groomed that way. Everyone's not groomed the same. Everyone's childhood and manners and etiquette. People, they don't know no better. And and like you said, I mean, I'm not going to assume guys, or that might have been his last $25 and he spent $5 on his kid. Should he spend his entire $25 to his next paycheck on all of them when they're not his kids and he doesn't have a relationship with that woman? No.
Right. So and my whole thing is, you got to peep game too. You have to be able to call a thing. And this is what I get angry with Black women. We're so busy focused on what we want and what we feel is right, that we don't understand that what we want and what we feel is right may not be what it is all the time. That's the reason why I said Black women have to come to terms with a word called acceptance. And we're really, really bad with that. We cannot accept that we're not always right. We cannot accept that when someone shows us who they are, we need to believe them. And we cannot accept that we can't control everybody.
Yes. And it's also, and it's you said everything right. And it's also, we always want to win every battle. Sometimes you got to pick and choose your battle as Black women. If your man leaving dishes in the sink and you come from a hard day's work and you annoyed and you see he have dishes, are you going to really go toe to toe and spaz out on him about those goddamn dishes in the sink? Or you just going to either just wash him up, leave it there, or you just wash him up? Pick and choose your battle. Do you want the relationship, or you want to argue about some dishes in the sink? If he didn't change the toilet roll in the bathroom after he finished doing, he forgot, maybe he used the bathroom, he didn't replace it with a new roll. You go in there, you feeling like, damn, are you really going to spaz out about that? You could bring it up to him, hey, babe, yo, there's no toilet in your toilet paper. You could say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not, it's how you convey it. You don't have to be combative and go and talk. We don't know how to pick and choose our battles. I could honestly say, as a Black woman, we don't always pick and choose our battles in the right moment at the right time. But sometimes when we argue and fighting, it's really not about that toilet paper or that dish in the sink or that McDonald's he gave for the one kid. It's about other things. It's about the relationship. It's about maybe, he cheated in the past. Maybe he's not pulling his weight financially. Sometimes I'm gonna be devil's advocate. Sometimes, men don't always listen to us. You tell them stuff, they ignore it. Listen, you're not pulling your weight, or you're not doing, you cheated, or you disappearing. You're not picking up my texts and my calls. So sometimes it manifests in us arguing about dishes in the sink, McDonald's for one kid, and not putting the toilet roll. So not to just simplify it like that, but it's just so nuanced and complicated that, and unfortunately, Black women, we don't communicate well because we get frustrated, and we're in relationships we should have gotten out of years ago. And we playing house, and we giving wifey benefits without him being a husband. So it's a lot of it does fall on us, because then we're acting out. We're yelling and screaming. Men, they act out in violence. They'll probably smack you, hit you, put hands on you. And women, we run our mouths. And it's not about, there's underlying issues that's other than what we're also, the battles that we keep fighting. We can't win every battle. Even if I'm dead right, sometimes I'm right with ex-boyfriends, and I will be right, but I was like, you know what? I give them my silence, and they learn when I give them my silence. I just let it go. I'd be like, you know what? Am I gonna battle him about the dish in the sink, or am I gonna just be easy, sit down and decompress, and then just maybe talk about it later, or I'll just knock it out. Or I'll just ask, hey babe, are you gonna knock out those dishes? I'm not gonna come here like, nigga, I just came home from work. Why are those dishes in the sink? I'm not gonna talk to my man like that. I'm not gonna demean him. He is an adult, he is a man. Maybe he don't always act like it, but I'm not gonna demean him as a human being, period. That's just my saying.
Exactly. Now, Chaos Rain has been up here, and I haven't heard from him since he came back to the panel. What's up, Mr. Chaos Rain? Oh, Chaos Rain took a break. Chaos, are you there? Mr. Rain? Going once. Going twice. All right, Chaos is went on a break or a hiatus or something. So anyway, that is a very good point that both you made and Mr. Demetrius made. And Women's Fear, if you're still out there and if you're still listening, it's not about just a gender war thing. This is not about gender warring. Gender warring is whack. This is something that I have been telling people for the longest time. But we as women, we have to focus in on ourselves. We no more can focus in on what this guy is doing. What that guy did was he came into that woman's life, and his representative was out there first. Both of them had their representative out there. And when he saw that she had those kids, in order to get in, he said, let me go ahead and throw on my nice guy routine. And ladies, you all know what the nice guy routine is. Oh, I'm going to buy toys for the kids. I'm going to buy clothes. I'm going to buy food. I'm going to act like stepdad. I'm going to be the perfect guy. And he was the perfect guy. However long it took for him to get tired or get whatever he wanted out of her. And it looked like he got what he wanted out of her plus a baby. And now the only thing that he wants is to be away from her, to only hit it every now and then and just do for his kid. And he's shown you that. Once somebody shows you what they about, that's when you do this. You got to dust your hands up. Because see, if you give your energy over to that, like that girl did in that skit, going back and forth arguing, that's energy. That's energy that you could be putting into yourself. Bettering yourself, or going and getting in your car and getting your own kids McDonald's if he don't want to do it. Don't sit up there and argue with no man about feeding your kids. But you're going to sit up here and argue with this guy and curse him out and all this other stuff. Why would you give him that energy? He showed you what he was about a long time ago. Why are you still sleeping with him? Why are you still sleeping with him? He showed you what he was about a long time ago. You giving him your energy and you giving him your sex. You're stupid. That is what is stupid. Now, Women's Fear, you sat up here and you talked about some things that were stupid. That's what's stupid. That mentality that I talk about, that is why I talk about a better class of women. That's why. The reason why I talk about a better class of women is because that mentality right there is stupid. Wasting your energy on somebody that's not giving you theirs. That is what is stupid. But I'm sorry, Chaos, you came back.
Yes. Wait, let me make sure my mic because it says reverberate. All right. One thing I would say this: the reason why I never cover content on this because I had to sit back and see the real outcome. Because when that was posted, I'm not sure if it was a Tuesday or whatever, I see whole black sector of YouTube did content. Majority of the males, very some females. And I had to sit back and ponder, because I'm also on social media, that someone did some digging on this woman, and this woman had a whole social media. Now, I didn't really do no deeper research, but I'm thinking now, the way how we are now as people, economy, etc., that someone's trying to do something to get what we call viral or bust in a big way. You get me? Even to the point that his face was covered, which is questionable, but that's another story. That look at the reaction we getting. We up here really having this conversation that should get feed if they come in a package. If we had to have that conversation as people, then we are down the shitter right now. We might as well call it a wrap. Because that's when when it goes beyond insanity. That so now we saying really F them kids. And I don't really talk about this because I look at, if you're in a relationship, and let's be honest, if this was something that he just wanted to hit and quit it would have gone so as is. But like I said, I don't know much more into this because once I found it was a skid, I don't think is even what you say, Faye, it could be, depending if you're around those type of dudes that possibly experience that, possibly. But overall, once you start committing to a woman that has kids, multiple kids, even to a point where she has your kid, and depending on how long you stay in this or wherever, he can't say enough and don't want enough to do with it, then yeah, it is what it is. Life has to move on. You get me? Now, if he wants to always end responsibility with his child, you had to give him that leeway as the mother. You get me? Because one thing is evident, we already hear too many of these males don't got no father figure, someone around that cares for them. Now, I'm not sure what's gonna happen to the other kids because let's be honest, this was his kid, so I can't take it too much seriously. Once I found out what she is, what she has on social media, I couldn't really take this more on face value personally, and I can't give this more time as it is. But I find that most black people say I can relate to this, and I say if you are relating to this, it lets me know personally that most of our people, men and women, we have not grown out of the tribal relations we have amongst each other. If we come in those situations, this should be a learning lesson. That said, if you cannot deal with a person that already has a full lineup, you better have to think twice. If you're going to enter in, you better enter in with caution. Because now you put yourself at a more greater risk, especially as men with women that has more kids. There's even laws that I heard rumor that they are tightening up in regards to these relations we have with each other, especially when it comes to kids. And they could say you are actually a father because you're invested in this. I forgot, it was one content creator that did contest. This is like last year. And I tell dudes, better be careful. You talk about say don't date single mothers, right? Okay, fine. So that means you're not going to sleep with single mothers? Because where does the line draw? Because you see the outcome of this. Y'all guys give a lot of attention to this. Sex does equal procreation. I don't care how you protect yourself. If she has kids and you playing around with her, you are putting yourself at risk as a man, personally. There's no if, buts around it, personally. And I don't give this more talk that I need to do it as I'm telling you right now with this. I'm just giving you my overall perspective. I try to be silent with this, but with women's spirit say that, yeah, the church should be eaten. Anyway, there should not be animosity when one kid eats and the rest don't eat. You get me? Because that's going to bring something to the other kids around it. We all hear about bullying and fighting amongst not only outside the household, but in the household as well. And the last thing we want to do is breed further animosity with the other kids. So we have to understand the psychology of what's going to happen to those kids seeing that your younger brother eats, you don't eat. What you going to do when he get his food?
But here's the thing that I want black people to start doing. You see situations like this. This is why we need to stop having multiple children with multiple people.
And it's going to come to that.
Because of stuff like this.
Facts.
And really, truly, that should be the more bigger message that if a person has multiple kids, I don't care this is financial situation. If you don't have no kids, you should not be dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you have kids and he has kids, unless you and him have a good relationship and you really sit down and have the conversation, then it might possibly work. But if you're not having those conversations, and let's be honest, majority of black people today, we're very antisocial. And this environment today in the last 20 years has created more of an antisocial phenomenon amongst us people. We don't communicate with each other anymore. We text. We try to avoid interactions. And because this, you create a schism. So now you have to sit to figure each other out. And that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm. But you know, going back to that ice cream cake. Thank you so much for getting us back on track. Ice cream cake said, "Back to the freedom of black women." Yes, Independence Day for black women. This is what we were talking about. Yes. And guess what, black women? You have the right to be free of being ignorant too.
Amen.
So let's also talk about the freedom not to be ignorant anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you are not going to be able to control the world, and you're not going to conquer the world with your vagina. And because this woman in this skit had 4 different baby daddies trying to conquer the world with her vagina, put her in a situation where one of the kids only have one daddy that's active and the rest of the kids don't. So now we have the freedom to look at situations like that and say we don't want any more of it. But I don't think I would ever want to be in a situation where I got to sit up here and talk to my other kids about why their fathers are not bringing them McDonald's. How about we look at it that way?
But you know
now she has the freedom. She has the freedom to decide whether or not she wants her son to go with the father and eat the McDonald's. And she, you know, in the video decided to throw it on the ground and say F him. And that is her right. And that is her freedom to do that. But it is also his right and his freedom not to do for the other children. So we have to also, in 2022, this Independence Day, we also have to be aware that even though we are independent, we also have to look at other people's independence as well. We have our rights and other people have their rights as well. It's a two-way street. The door opens and closes, it swings both ways. And she that understands that and moves with that mentality in mind, she's ahead of the game, and she's going to use her head and her energy towards better things that keeps her in a sovereign mindset. But you're going to always be enslaved, walking around thinking that you're going to control somebody else. You're going to be a slave to trying to do that, and it's not going to work for you. You're going to be miserable, and you are going to let somebody live rent-free in your mind when you could very well be doing something else. All right, so we are at the 2-hour mark. I think it's time for us to start wrapping it up. I want to go ahead and start with Chaos Reign and work it all the way around to Tia. I want it to be 2 women on the panel with the closing. So go ahead, Mr. Chaos Reign. What are your final thoughts?
I don't think I have any final thoughts personally. This was a very interesting week. Again, more people going viral over, I guess, topics or things that are situated with the black community. But let's be honest. We love the chaos. We love the confusion. You know, we'll say one thing, but we're going to do something opposite. Let's keep it real. And niggas don't want to stop fucking these baby moms. And most women, if they have one child and they got to go through 2 or 3 to find one that will, you put yourself in a, what do you call, what's the word? A Russian roulette with your vagina, you know. And at the end of the day, not only you lose if you're struggling, but your kids possibly lose. And that is no situation women should put themselves in, you know. Marriage would be nice, but like I said, if a dude is you and him are vibing and it's working good, and you don't got the kids, you know what I mean? Start off with there. Like I said, representation will show us up with both of us eventually because we're not been tested. And I think the testing should be the essential part, and it should be a reasonable testing. You get me? To see how it goes. And I'm not telling people to do like an extreme. It should be a reasonable one, you know. So I would say if we can get through this, then anything further along, it could work. We don't expect perfection, and we don't expect forever after, but we can make things work. There are trade-offs. There are trade-offs to everything. So figure out the trade-offs between you and that mate. What
the hell? All right, chaos reign. I like that part where he was saying, "Don't play Russian roulette with your vaginas." And same thing, men. Don't play the Russian roulette with your penis. It goes both ways. But go ahead, Mr. Demetrius. What are your final thoughts?
I mean, people have to understand that freedom is a weird thing. When people discuss freedom in this country, they think of it as this whole idealistic thing, when in reality, freedom, in an example that was given to me by a woman named Antisocial Socialite here on YouTube. If you were locked up in a jail cell, all freedom means is the shackle is off your feet and the jail cell is open. You are free to leave. That is freedom. So you have to be wise with your freedom, naturally. And to Women's Sphere, I would say this. We did not mean to, upset you, but we have to be rational about things like this because of things like freedom. Yeah? We cannot infringe on other people's freedom, tell people what they should do. But if you want to argue for feeding children, then encourage the people in your chat to start soup kitchens. I, for one, encourage Black men to go into the agriculture field just like I am. I'm returning to back to campus this next fall to continue my studies. So, yeah, that's all I got to say.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, Demetrius. And that's a good idea, by the way, about the soup kitchen. There was actually another young lady, I think it was underrated Gemini. She talked about starting soup kitchens so that, all Black children could not be hungry. So, that's something that we did back during the time of the Black Panthers when they started the free lunch program. So, we should get back to our roots and start doing things like that. So that's a great suggestion.
Yes, ma'am. And food insecurity is a real issue, and it will help. Things like that will help improve the Black community's food palette if they stick to it. So It would require a little bit of more education on nutrition, and then y'all could probably work on getting specialized nutritionists into these soup kitchens for people with specific conditions and stuff. It's very possible, but it would require a lot of organization. But thank you for having me up, Faith.
Thank you so much for joining us, and please do come again, Demetrius. Right, Miss Tia. I wanted to be two ladies on the panel because once again, this panel was for a better class of women, and it was celebrating our freedom as Black women. We are no longer muling and mammying for the community. We as Black women realize now that we have choices, and we don't have to be the people that everybody runs to help them and save them, and oh my God, let me sleep on your couch, and can you help a brother out, and all that. We don't have to do all of that anymore. So how do you feel about that, Miss Tia?
Hey, Miss Faith, thank you. And I just wanted to say before I start, Demetrius, that was a wonderful idea. I think it was well said, and I'm glad you brought it up about the soup kitchens. I think that's fantastic. And I also think that as far as nutritionists, people have nutritional restrictions. I would even move. I would even go further as possibly black men and women build, if they live in an area that's rural, maybe start a community garden so they could have fresh organic produce and stuff. But back to you, yes. How I feel about that. I just want to say one thing to you, Faith. I'm sorry that I do watch Women's Fair, but I think it was unfortunate that I don't think she meant to, but I think, like you said, she was being emotional, and maybe something triggered her, that she just kind of went back and forth with you like that. I mean, you didn't. It was. I don't think that was the right way to do it, to convey her message. But I understand her message, as I will understand yours. Back to our freedom. I agree. It's a new day. It's a new chapter. It's not about hate. It's not about gender war. It's about Black women loving themselves, putting themselves first, and focusing on ourselves. We only have one life on this planet, and no one else can live it for us. We don't even know if there's something beyond this. I mean, we hope that it is. I'm not knocking religion or anything like that. So while we're on this planet, we have the mobility and the energy and the wherewithal to enjoy ourselves. And like you said, I was used to be that person. Oh, can you put me up for a while? Let me get the couch or my other bedroom or whatever. I was one of those people, and even family members, not even just someone. Family members could take advantage. People you've had relationships with can take advantage. It's about you. It's about focusing on you. Again, I keep saying it, and I know I repeat myself like a broken record, but leveling ourselves up emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, if you have to, and finding out happy. Black women need to find out happy. We need to be happy for ourselves. We need to, so we can have a big, beautiful smile like Faith. I want Black women smiling like Faith all day, and just being happy and being good in your skin, being good in feeling good in your body and yourself, being happy. You don't have to aspire to be a billionaire or millionaire or whatever. Just inspired to find your happy, your that focuses on you and what brings you joy. If you want to go skydiving, skydive. If you want to volunteer, that brings you joy. If it's starting a community garden or a food pantry, like Demetrius said, whatever it is that bring you joy, that's not taking from you and not putting you in a compromised position in your life, I say find your happy. And you said something earlier, Faith, about you want women to stop basing their happiness around men. Men is a great component of our happiness. They could be a good part of our happiness, but it shouldn't be why that we shouldn't base our worth and happiness around being with a man and taking care of a man and being, like you said, them being their mules and their mammies and all this stuff. We should focus on being a mammy for ourselves, be mule for ourselves, love ourselves. And I think that's what it is.
Absolutely. And let me piggyback off that real quick before I lose the thought. But you know what, Tia, you said a lot of great things. And what that made me think of is that these men are starting to get some of these women's number. And I really, really hope that women are picking up on this, because a lot of these guys are now able to morph into these people that you want them to be. They're able to say exactly what you want to hear. So beware of that. I'm noticing on YouTube that there are guys that used to be strict manosphere, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they can poof. Now I am all for Black women, and I love Black women, and Black women that you got. Your women are goddesses and queens, and they say all the stuff that we want to hear.
Yes.
And so what I'm beginning to see is that we think that we got their number, but I think that they got our number.
Yes. I agree with you, because they know, unfortunately, I hate to say it again, Black women, we have to start loving ourselves, healing, working on ourselves, because when we hear that, we want the validation, we want the attention, we want to feel our worth. And unfortunately, women hearing things like that sometimes, well, maybe, like I said on your last live, we can't distinguish between lust and love. We can't distinguish between a man wanting us and needing us. And sometimes again, that's where you have to have standards, and like don't accept someone who's not fully employed or underemployed or not employed. You can't someone who lived. I'm not knocking the guy that lived at home with their mom. If you live at home with your mom and you're helping her out for a while and you're saving your money to get a house or a condo, that's fine. But if somebody who's not moving, taking care of themselves and doing right, a man who's not doing right for himself, you have to show me. We have to stop worrying about what we hear and let them show you. They have to show it to us, not. And I think we have to stop jumping in the bed with them just because he said, "Ooh, your ass is fat. You look good, girl. Ooh, you look like you're valid. You look like wifey material." Our vaginas is salivating after we hear that. "Ooh, you look good, girl."
Oh yeah.
We want it so bad from them. We just bust it wide open for them, and it's unfortunate. We can't distinguish between someone wanting us or needing us, or someone who loves us, or who just lusts after us, or who needs access to us temporarily. And it's something that we have to have more conversations about with Black women amongst ourselves, how to distinguish. And it's hard. You can't really vet. You can't really, because some of them are great performers. Some of them are great performers. They perform like they want you. They love you.
Yes.
But the truth always reveals itself. But sometimes it's too late. We get caught up. But we have to learn to love ourselves and maybe put our vaginas on sabbatical if you're not in a relationship. And if it's
That
already been
part, that
huh?
part, Tia, when you said sabbatical, that's exactly. I think some of us really do need to take a break, from utilizing our vaginas in every situation. But let me give a shout out to Doug real quick. He gave a $10 super chat. He says, "CK, no disrespect, but Faith, you're looking fine. Thank you so much for the super chat, Doug." And let me go ahead and give Doug a round of appreciate that. No, but go ahead, T. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely. Doug deserved it. Doug was great. Doug, you're absolutely right. Faith is looking fabulous. I mean, let's listen. Hello, it is what it is. The reality is that we have to love ourselves and put that vagina on sabbatical for a minute. Sometimes just loving on ourselves and being with ourselves is healthy for a little while. I'm not saying forever, and just focus and level up, cultivate ourselves, work on our bodies, work on our mental, our emotional, work on our financial house. So when we do go out and so try to find a mate, if that's what you want to do, you find someone who's more on your level, and you can meet them at the same place. You can meet them in the same position. I'm not saying being a CEO of a company, but you could get a guy that's and when you do meet them, don't jump in the bed and just try to vet. If they really want you, they'll stick around. And if they do want you, they're not going to ghost you or sometime text you. And I know men have needs. We have needs too. But if you really want me and you really want to build a life, and don't be afraid to ask for what you want. If you want marriage, you want a family, you want to build a life, say, "This is what I want. Is this what you truly want?" I think it's honest conversations as far as relationship. But back to our freedom, independence, and I hate that I keep coughing every time I'm talking. But we need to focus on our happy. What brings us joy? Is it a puppy that might give you happy? Go get you a puppy. If it's starting a cooking class, taking cooking classes, or maybe some skiing lessons, or shooting at a range. If it gives you joy and happiness, there's other things that give you joy other than other human beings. There's other
Yes.
things in life, and I think Black women need to travel more. Black women need to explore more things and just do things outside their comfort zone or what they've been exposed to, and find
And find something that you can
spend
shoot
your money
for.
on that.
There's it could be a small thing. Like there's this mountain out here in Phoenix that has a walking trail, and it's so difficult to climb. It's a very, very hard mountain. And I'm telling you, I always get to the middle of that mountain before I get tired. And I have to stop. I've never been to the top of that mountain. And I promise you, I'm going to conquer that mountain one day.
You
Every time
will, baby.
I go,
You're gonna do it too, and that'll bring
I
you
promise
joy.
you.
That'll
Yes, it
bring you
will.
joy.
It gives me something to look forward to.
Absolutely. And like I said, focus. We have to start and surround yourself with positive stuff. You don't have to bash black men. You don't have to hate them. And like I said, it does feel, but I feel like no more taking care of other people, specifically grown men. No more. If it's not your kid, if it's not your something you want to spoil your grandbaby or your niece or nephew, it's like something that you are compelled to do on your own. Don't do it. Don't let your nieces and nephews take advantage of you. I've had that done. Don't let relatives, siblings do spoil yourself. And I'm not saying go spend your money on stupid things and a bunch of things, because I'd rather spend my money on experiences than things. I used to buy a lot of things. I stopped buying a lot of things. I spend my money on experiences now. You know,
The
if it's a nice,
experiences, actually, the memories last longer than the things. The
yeah,
things get old and you throw them away,
and
and
they
that's
break.
it for them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or you give it away. Experiences. If it's a cool restaurant you heard about, you saw good reviews. Even if you go to dinner by yourself, go to dinner by yourself. Treat yourself. Maybe if you don't have a man to treat you, or you don't have someone else. If you can't go with your girls, treat yourself. There's nothing wrong with dining by yourself. If you know, like little things, you should treat yourself on little things. But I'd rather black women with freedom and independence save that money instead of eating out every week, buying lunch, doing that at work. Take your money and go and save it up, and then go to Europe, go to South Africa, go to the South America. Do things that bring you joy. That's it. That's it.
absolutely,
That's it. That's that.
absolutely,
I know that was a long-winded one, but but like I said, that's my definition of black women's freedom. Make it about you, and don't let no one guilt you into not doing it. Making it
absolutely.
about you. That's it. But thank you so much, Faith. I appreciate you having me. Me and my struggle throat, my struggle voice, and the coughing. I apologize to the listeners, but thank you so much, and I enjoy being on your panel, and I hope to see you on the next one.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for coming in. And once again, you can always come up. Do not be a stranger. I love your point of view.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. You
All
and
right.
you look so amazing. Stay beautiful. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to end the stream the way I always end the stream, and that's just with myself. With myself. So, black women, we have learned some things today. We have learned not to become emotional in every situation as far as what we allow ourselves to deal with. The only people that we can control at the end of the day are ourselves. And this is the one takeaway that I want black women to understand. Because, see, we are women, we are emotional because we're nurturing. And being emotional is not a bad thing, because that's the way we were built up. We were built to be emotional because we feel for people, we feel for children, we feel that we have to take care of everybody. And so that's what we did for a long time. And I'm not saying that you gotta be this hard stoic force that don't want to help nobody. That's not what I'm saying at all. Like, when when the pandemic hit, my daughter and her son and her boyfriend, they needed to come stay here. You know what I'm saying? um it was in my heart to do that. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what a person would do. A good mother, a good friend, that's what you do. So I'm not saying that you take a hard stance and never help anyone. And if you're like Ice Cream Cake and you have a heart that you want to feed the stray animals, Ice Cream Cake, I don't know about that. Now, see, for me, feeding the stray cats, because we have a lot of stray cats that come into this community. What they do is they come and they want to lamp around, and they might poo poo on your patio. They might leave loose fur everywhere. I don't know. I try not to feed them, because they keep coming back. I try to spray lime and lemon everywhere to kind of deter them from coming over here. But Ice Cream Cake has a big heart, because we as women, we are emotional. We feel. That's just how we are. But we have to also train ourselves to kind of rein it in when we need to. because the emotional thing is a blessing, especially to other people, but it can also be a curse because you're such a wonderful person. You have a big heart and you just want to help everybody and you want to nurture the whole world. But sometimes you got bad people out here that will take advantage of your big heart. They will try to, play with those emotions that you have. And so you have to be diligent in protecting those emotions. And that's the reason why I tell women to be logical. Make sure that you're being logical in your thought process and your decision making. Because if you don't, you're going to have people come in and they're going to play games with you. Just like the dude, I'm just using the McDonald example. Of course, he had no business bringing just the one meal, but he's playing games. He knows that he's starting shit in your house. Now, you can get emotional. You can give him your energy if you want to, or you can ignore his ass. Yeah, take your son around the block and eat with your son. And you go in the house and you cook a big meal for your other kids. Because if you're a good mother, you're going to have food in the refrigerator. Feed them kids. Never mind what he doing over there. You understand what I'm saying? You can't give them your energy. Sometimes they will do things to try to get your attention. But if you show them that you ain't thinking about them and that the beat is going to go on, then you have won. But don't give over to your emotions. Don't do it. Everybody's not worthy of it. Now, someone in need, they may be worthy. Your children, they're worthy. Your family, they're worthy. People that care about you, people that add something to your life, they're worthy. But not everybody is worthy of your energy and your time. That's what you got to understand. Ice Cream Cake says, feed them. She's talking about the cats again, y'all. She says, feed them. They don't poop where they eat. Okay, so basically, Ice Cream Cake, you're saying that they were pooping on my patio because I wouldn't feed them. So now they just say, okay, this bitch don't feed me. We got something for you. We got something for you, heifer. You not feeding us. Poop. That's what they do on Ice Cream Cake. That's how they gonna do me. So they pooping on my patio because I won't feed them. Some bitches. She says, I keep cat food, water, and trunk. There is a skunk and a raccoon couple in my neighborhood. They look after each other. Wow. Oh, wow. You love the animals. See, you better than me. I hate animals. I don't like animals. I don't like dogs. I don't like cats. I don't even like fish. I don't like fish. You got to change the water and all that. No. No, thank you. But at any rate, y'all, that's my time going on 2.5 hours here. I love each and every one of you, by the way. And also, I want to say thank you to each and every person that graced the panel today, Chaos Rain. I want to also thank Tia and who was the other guy that came on here? Goodness, I forgot his name. Don't be mad at me because I have a little brain fart sometimes. I forget everybody's name, but I think it was Mr. Higashikata. I remember that last name because that last name is unforgettable. So thank you for gracing the panel today. BMT came in early on and he got mad and left. And Woman Sphere came in. Thank you for gracing the panel, even though she got mad and left. But at any rate, y'all, I just want to say I love all of you. Thank you so much for joining and supporting the channel. And with that, I got to say I'm out. Peace.